Let's have a look at who is hot and cold here coming into this final.
All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? I am Double D, and welcome to the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm not at Bristol. I'm at my house, but I'll be streaming the race today. I'm finally got that internet issue fixed, and I'm back on here, and I'm ready to give you guys the live reactions. So, as you see in the chat, I predict Denny Hamlin's going to win. He's on a roll. He's won the last two races. One at where he won at Martinsville last week, and then 2 weeks ago he won at Martinsville, and then last week he won at Darlington. His pit crew won the race, but he was in the position to make it 2 in a row. But can he make it 3 in a row today? I believe he can. And he's won this race in the spring last year. And the tires, just like last year, they're going to wear like crazy. So I definitely think Hamlin's going to win. I think the other driver that may have a chance to beat Hamlin, Kyle Larson. Larson's really good when the tires wear as well. So we're going to have to watch out for him.
At 30 miles per hour. Let's go to our Toyota Camry cutaway car and show you how they monitor their.
Yeah, I'm ready for this race today. I'll go through the top 10 real quick. So, yeah, Alex Bowman's on pole. Guy's looking a lot like Ryan Newman lately. Second, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Upset in qualifying, him starting second. Kyle Larson third. Denny Hamlin in fourth. Those two I mentioned. Ryan Blaney in fifth. Ty Gibbs in sixth. Christopher Bell seventh. Allmendinger is in eighth. Hocevar is in ninth. And Justin Haley is in 10th. You got Josh Berry, who's really good at short tracks, in 11th. And then you have some drivers that are starting really in the back, like Chase Elliott starting in 20th. Byron qualified 26th. You're going to see Joey Logano is also starting in rear in 38th. So you're going to see some drivers work their way back up to the front, which will be interesting to watch. So I'm hyped for this race. I really like Bristol. The only race I hated at Bristol was the one last year in 2024 in the fall, where Larson just dominated it. Hopefully that doesn't happen today. I'm just so happy my stream's finally working again. Here they are. I'm going to turn on my fan. It's kind of warm in here.
Let's check back with Larry for our Liberty Jewelry strategy. Mike, it's a lot about the drivers. Tire management. Run your pace. Just do what you need to do to stay in the lane.
Okay. Here we go. Pace car's lights are off. We got Bowman and Stenhouse side by side. They're in the back straightaway. And they are about to start. Here we go. Bowman and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Green flags in the air. We are underway at Bristol. See that inside line's working really good. Hamlin has already lost a spot, and Stenhouse has gotten past him.
When the guessing game starts, will this racetrack take rubber?
And Bowman leads lap 1. So it seems like the inside line's working good. Kind of like old Bristol.
So this is kind of a wait and see game. I think I'm going to go get settled in line. First and foremost, going to get things on file and then figure that out. Still there.
Yeah.
Couldn't get in line there for third. So
seems like Ty Gibbs is trying to make that outside work.
outside, making time.
Not really much luck as Hamlin's going to gain a spot on Ty Gibbs.
Turn two drops back a bit. Gibbs still out there. And so
I just wonder how these tires are going to wear.
on the outside, so is Justin Hamlin.
Yeah, that's the hard part. If that bottom line is going to be the preferred groove right now, and it should be with that PJ.
It's looking a lot like a fast Martinsville with all these cars on the bottom. Chase Briscoe just got into top 10. Feels really tight together. I wonder if all of them are going at a slower speed because they're trying to save tires to get to like a certain time to pit. And strategy-wise.
I think you see Hocevar right here. So what will happen as these guys start to get the track position and get down on the bottom of the racetrack and go into tire savings mode, you'll see some guys say, okay, I need track position and I'm going to go forward.
The other aspect of that, I went down to get in that traction compound because on that outside of a clean racetrack like you're seeing, Ty Gibbs and even Allmendinger.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs is falling back on that outside. You do not want to be on that outside right now.
Gibbs and Allmendinger are the only drivers in the top 20 who are trying to work the outside because they can't get to the inside lane.
But hey, I say the great idea is just save your tires if you're on the outside.
It has more grip, and when it has more grip, you can make better lap time and use the car up less than you will outside of that traction compound where the grip strip is not at.
Yeah, Ty Gibbs is almost out of the top 10 by being stuck up there.
Allmendinger got down, he found a hole, and I think you're probably going to hear communication with this 54 car. Find me a hole, please. Oh, almost had it there. Build the gap, Keselowski.
Yeah, and that was Keselowski's job right there, right? Like he knew that car wanted down. Stay in contact with that car in front of you. Don't let him down. Take that track position the easy way by keeping that guy hung out.
So here's Allmendinger. Was half a straightaway behind Gibbs in the high groove. He found a hole on the bottom, and now
So we've already completed 12 laps of 500. And Ty Gibbs finally got to the bottom. He had to fall back all the way to, let's see, he's back in 15th after losing all those spots, being stuck up on the outside.
Looks like the old Bristol. Exactly right at the bottom there.
So it seems like the only way you're going to pass is if you kind of bump the car in front of you a little bit and you get underneath them to try to make that pass. But some people don't want to do that too early. It's about survival right now. And pretty much until the last 10 laps. Then you want to take your chances. But then if it's a long green flag run, it's going to be earlier than that. You want to make your moves. Yeah, pretty much everybody single file besides Suarez in the back of the pack. Logano has picked up 5 spots, getting under Corey LaJoie, and he's going to make that move stick. And Corey LaJoie is going to be left hanging on the outside, but he's holding strong.
It sure looks like that the racetrack right now.
But he has lost his position on the inside, and he's going to fall back.
They protect themselves, so Joey Logano trying to pick them off one at a time.
Right with Butcher back here, and this is the problem. You're going to start seeing guys getting anxious, and you saw Logano get underneath LaJoie, so LaJoie's trying to get back down.
Right, so they say the tires, the longest they last is 40 laps, and we're already on lap 18. So we're going to see pit stops in a little bit.
An easy fender up underneath somebody else's corner that keeps you in the traction compound.
So here's the world's longest conveyor.
It's like Austin Dillon's making a move to the inside back there on his teammate, Kyle Busch.
Ty Gibbs finally did find a spot in line. He lost 8 positions.
Some drivers may be experimenting the outside too, so they can give further data to their crew chiefs and the crew to try to make adjustments on the cars as well. So that could be a reason some drivers stay on the outside. But it's not the preferred groove at the moment.
Was trying to move forward, and right behind him, Jesse Love in his first ever Cup race. Love won an Arthur West race at the age of.
Oh, look at Jesse Love on the outside. On the outside of Daytona 500 champion William Byron and 22 Daytona 500 champion of Austin Cindric trying to make moves. And he's going to get behind his teammate, Kyle Busch. But you're also wearing your tires being up there trying to make moves. So we're going to see who falls off the most.
Understand how all of this works. But right now he's up on the outside, and I don't know that's where he wants to be for sure.
There's Chase Elliott making a move on. Oh, we got a spin. Oh, Reddick saves it. That was almost a spin there. Either Reddick got loose or his tires are going down. I think he just got loose. But that was almost your first caution right there. A nice save by Reddick to keep it going. I definitely thought that was going to be a caution.
They are pacing it right now. They're barely getting wide open down the straightaways. And like you talked about, the activation of that traction compound being 88 degrees right now. Down in 1 and 2, it's 100 degrees track down. It's right on 88 3 and 4. And Hamlin just lost third place.
And here's Larson on the bottom. Larson's ready to make some moves, and he's going to leave Hamlin hanging on the outside. Hamlin's trying to squeeze so he can keep fourth. But Blaney behind him is not giving. Up from behind him. Hamlin's still hanging with Larson, though.
Trying to hang on to a top 5 spot here in Bristol. Alex Bowman leads.
Definitely, I think green flag pit stops are going to change a lot of things.
The attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
The warm-up beginning of the off-season was about 2.5 hours every day. It's boring, it's mundane, but it's what it takes.
I've seen some starters take 25 minutes to get ready. Bro, I've never seen anything like that.
Everything takes patience. There's no instant gratification.
I mean, his routine is boring because it's the same every day. But I'll 100% take boring all day long. He's throwing 100. It doesn't even look like he's trying.
Brilliance will need patience, and a lot of the time it's boring. But greatness is boring.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen meat and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Push guy, bold and smooth smile skills. To avoid going in circles, take note of recognizable landmarks like that.
All right, they're on commercial break right now.
Different circles.
But Alex Bowman's still in the lead.
And for the mountains. During month of free, Buffalo Wild Wings gave to me. Free boneless wings, free delivery, a sandwich that is free burger, and a free dessert. All because I joined rewards for a month of free.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm back. And here comes Larson on the outside of Alex Bowman. And Larson is in the lead. Hopefully he doesn't stay there.
This racetrack is starting to take a little bit of rubber. Yesterday we didn't see any sense of rubber anywhere around the racetrack, and now you can see it starting to drag that BJ1 up off the corner. You can see that second groove start to lay rubber, and you can really see the rubber marks there off the bottom groove. So
Yeah, Larson has extended his gap on Bowman by about half a second already. I think the track is starting to change, and that's why you see some people trying to make moves on the outside.
On the charge on the outside here, and McDowell finds a place in line in sixth. Okay, lap 40, Larry. This is what we saw.
Was Larson just saving his stuff because he's already a second ahead?
Still got to go 85 laps in this stage. Remember, 125 laps stage one. So are you nervous sitting on that box? I was nervous before the green flag. How about Justin Haley, who started this race back in 10th?
Now we got Justin Haley in second.
You don't need a job, it seems like a rubber game. All right, you do three, just manage it, though.
Yeah, and what he's saying right there, yesterday we had all those chunks of rubber, all those marbles up the racetrack. They are not there today, which he's telling his team right now, those chunks aren't there. I need to go because it's.
So I wonder who's going to save and who's going to not.
Yeah, but he's right. All that debris is not at the top of the racetrack.
That's insane. Larson's already almost 2 seconds ahead of Bowman. Well, Haley, actually.
I'm going to drive off and go run some normal lap times here. He is on the gas right now, Clay.
Yeah, they threw caution to the wind. They're not worried about tire wear. They're seeing exactly what we're talking about. Rubber is getting down on the racetrack. See those marbles up on the top of the racetrack? Yesterday was way worse. That tells me it's going in the track. They're on top of it. Jamie?
Look at that. Larson's the only one running lap times in the 15s, and everybody else is in the 16s. That's insane.
For Larson, this now looks like a test session. How long can we go? And what's it going to feel like if these tires keep up and they wear on their tread off? What are you going to have?
Well, I just don't think they're going to wear on the tread off, but if it does, it's going to be instant, and it's going to be when the cords of the tire are the things trying to stick to the racetrack instead of the rubber on the tire. But back to Justin Haley's comments.
Yeah. Larson could also be like pushing his lap times too to see what his car will do. I mean, it's just crazy the fact that he's already 2 seconds ahead of the entire field. And he did that in only like a couple of laps.
Here's Joey Logano, who has now gained 10 positions from his 38 starting spot.
Yeah, you see that one car, Ross Chastain, up the racetrack right there. Right now, the preferred groove is still going to be the bottom of the racetrack until that traction compound gets run in and starts to wear out. Until that really starts to wear out and be a disadvantage, guys aren't going to move around.
Well, Bowman and Larson led all but 4 laps of the race here last fall.
All right, Larry, I think it's time to start. We need to sell something else other than this tire wear. We might get farther than we saw yesterday for sure. We're already there.
Okay, now some of the lap times are starting to pick up for the other drivers. I guess they're feeling better about the track.
They were able to run easily over 100 laps right now, as I said. We're right at 100 degrees at 1 and 2, a little under 90 at 3 and 4. I feel good right now.
Hey, Kevin, remember when I made that switcherooski on you down there and I didn't go with Denny Hamlin because I was thinking this tire, I can feel the heat on my head, on my shoulders. I thought, you know what? I'm going with the guy that's a gas master. Going to the 5 car. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember
it
that.
was 20 minutes ago, buddy.
I remember. I think Clint's I don't know has switched to I don't care. Let's go for it. Kyle Larson with almost a 2-second lead of Justin Haley, Hamlin, Bowman, and Stenhouse, the top 5.
And never, we're the pros that know how to
So Larson's got a big gap, and they just went to commercial break, but
never hardly need Brake pads to stock your
I guess the tires are doing better than everybody expected.
For your fleet in Orange County, Florida. It's why we built a nationwide network of parts and exceptional service, all driven by one mission: to keep businesses big, small, and everything in between moving full speed ahead.
This tax season, do more than just catch up. Spring forward with a free 5G phone with select Straight Talk plans. So you can spring for those new sneakers they need. The unlimited streaming he needs. And with Straight Talk, spring for something you never knew you needed. Spring forward with real unlimited data and get a free 5G phone with select plans on America's most reliable 5G network. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
Yeah, so let's look at the running order. Keselowski is now in the top 10. Christopher Bell is also in 8th. Excuse me. You only had Chase Elliott pick up a couple of spots. Byron has picked up some spots as well. Logano is in 27th from starting 38th. And Jesse Love has fallen back to the back, so him trying to run the outside has wore his tires out. See, it does have some type of wear where it affects your car. Seems like Larson's time is starting to taper a little bit. Justin Haley had a faster lap time than Larson, unless Larson's getting caught up with lap traffic. But I can't really see that because we're on commercial break right now.
And a little work. And a little play.
Yeah, that's because he's lapping other drivers. That's why he's going slower.
And a truck that says no to nothing.
So he's already put 4 cars a lap down, including Cole Custer and Shane Van Gisbergen. Gisbergen has not been running good at all. Besides, like, the road courses.
More stripes, more short fuses, more bumps and bruises. More Lone Star Showdown. More Heartland Heartstoppers. Welcome to the edge of your seat. Welcome to NASCAR.
John Hunter Nemechek's Toyota can about to be sacrificed here on the back bumper of Bristol. Who got a little loose? That's what that contact there. Hey, this is Bristol. The reason why you're seeing that, Mike, is because of this. The leader is in traffic.
Yeah, see, Larson has caught the traffic, and that's why you saw, like, the drivers behind him starting to catch up now.
And this is what makes Scott Larson so good. He's able to run the bottom. He's very creative with his lines and the way that he can run that top line and pull that car down. And he anticipates what he sees in front of him as far as traffic, and very good at navigating traffic. And these guys know that they have to go, like you say, Glenn.
Now they're double wide. Jesse Love way up top there, trying to stay out of Kyle Larson's way, as he will join Corey LaJoy, Cole Custer, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cody Ware, and Josh Malicki. 1 lap down.
I am blown away, fellas. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, couldn't make 40 laps. Had 6 minutes of practice, and these guys were on jack stand. Didn't have any tire left. Today, 73 laps. Here we go. Still great.
It's a very different game. Let's take a look at today's driver profile, sponsored by Chili's. Indians Carson Osavar, the 2024 Cup Series, Rookie of the Year. 3 Bristol starts, best finish of 11th, and second place finish. And Atlanta, the second race of this season.
What's your excuse for a shield beat out today, Glenn?
Still kind of shield up, yeah. I don't know. I don't give it.
I wonder how long these tires are going to go.
Better if you put it down. 100%.
Because I guess the track was different yesterday, and everybody was expecting it to only last 40 laps. Now it's going to be longer, so it's going to be interesting to see how long these tires go.
This racetrack for a driver.
Hamlin's going to pass Justin Haley for second place.
Didn't Hamlin passes Justin Haley for second, but I'm going to give some praise to Justin Haley. Great job so far. He was the one that took that first and took off to the front.
And it definitely paid off for him from the track position standpoint. He qualified qualified well, put himself in a position to have a good day.
Regan, like a driver that did not qualify very well yesterday, but Malone started 22nd, up 9 spots to 13. Early report from the driver car is a little bit too tight to finish the quarters, to exit the quarters. I can tell you, they had to lean heavily on their teammates from yesterday. We got the 45 car Tyler Reddick that he was much better than.
Seems like Larson's kind of opened up that gap to first. Now a second and a half instead of a second. Remember, everybody else has got to get through traffic as well.
He has now lapped 7 cars. Counting Nemechek, who is 33rd. We'll share the next one ahead.
Yeah, yesterday in practice, we saw, like we talked earlier, we saw all these drivers have so much trouble with tires. The mental side of today's game, knowing that you're going to possibly have to run 125 laps on tires after you went through what you did yesterday, it seems almost impossible. So right now, inside the car, they're feeling, I don't know, is that vibrating? I don't know. Is my car starting to turn? Is it?
Remember Darlington? Yes, I am. I'm finally back. Anyways, you remember Darlington where Byron was dominating that entire race and then all of a sudden pit strategy got in the way? That could happen to Larson.
So Kevin says 125 laps. That would be the end of stage 1. Larry, we've already run more green flag laps than any green.
I just wonder if people are going to guess when to pit or if someone's just going to blow a tire.
Again, we're up to 100 degrees. Yesterday it was cloudy, no sun, 70 degrees back down. It just would not work. But I'll go back to Regan Smith's report about tire. Rubbers on the racetrack. That's something they didn't have yesterday, and that's a product of rubber being on the racetrack. The tires starting to slide.
But I think it's also a product of that traction compound enabling these cars to go faster through the corners than they're used to running. Carry a lot of speed through the center, try to push it to the ball.
Yeah, Larson extending his gap. But we've already got almost 100 laps completed here at Bristol. Well, Jesse Love was making some noise in the top 20 earlier, and I guess he wore his tires out, and he is in the back now, a lap down.
I'm Michael from the Warren Street, and this is what my Ozempic era looks like. I'm lowering my A1C and lost some weight too.
So you can wear your tires out. It is possible if you're running that outside too much.
Like stroke, heart attack, or death, and others take it to lower the risk of worsening chronic kidney disease.
Don't share needles or pens, or reuse needles. Don't take if you or your family had NTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
It would,
May include
but it's not going to happen.
Gallbladder or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Taking the sulfonylurea or insulin may raise low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation.
Yeah, it seems like the top 3 are separated from the rest of the field. Stenhouse is in 4th.
GLP-1 with the most FDA-approved uses. Ozempic.
Well, actually, he's in 5th. It just didn't show Alex Bowman on the monitor.
Or if you're big hungry, maybe football for only $3 more. Big hungry, is that a thing? That should be a thing. Find your fresh.
Let's see.
$6.99 meal of the day at Subway.
It's not about the cars.
Sticky Balicki's running in last.
The action.
2 laps down.
It's not about the party or the long weekend. It's about them. The ones that gave everything. This Memorial Day weekend, we honor the fallen at America's Home for Racing. The 66th running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Let's see. We hit pit stops yet? We have been green throughout this entire stage. Tyler Reddick almost wrecked earlier, but he saved it. I really thought his tire was going down, but he kept it going. It was just more of his car was loose.
Definitely still in chemistry
Fox Thursday. What's going on? Love's on the line on Farmer Wants a Wife.
I am so
But not everyone who's this
Larson works his way up through the field, lapping cars. It gets harder because they're all double wide and they don't want to go a lap down. Ooh, careful. Don't leave a lot of room, do they? Now, Kyle Busch has got up and against the wall here.
Oh, Kyle Busch hit the wall right there.
There's Kyle Larson's lead. Back to Denny Hamlin. The next blue car for your aerial covers provided by Goodyear. Since 1925, Goodyear Look has been inspiring fans.
So you're now on lap 100.
Keep driving forward. 100, all green flag.
Well, congratulations.
Stage one.
Yeah, Larry, he is picking them up and putting them down. Putting a lot of these cars on lap down.
LaJoy is also running 35th, one lap down. Yeah, Larson's about to lap Logano.
Yeah, we go back to those replays that Kyle Larson had.
Yeah, Larson's putting up a clinic early.
When he gets into those scenarios,
Bell has gotten past Laney for 7th place.
Big lead. Takes such chances tearing up his car like that, though.
Well, his ability to get through that traffic is special. It's just different, right? He's so used to passing cars, doesn't lose the momentum. See the momentum, he catches them, he times them, and sometimes they block him in. When you're that much faster than them, trouble happens. But you're right, you can get yourself in trouble pretty easy at a track like Bristol.
That last lap at 3 and 4, he went all the way up to the wall at 3, came down in a late apex in 4 like he was on a road racetrack to gain position on Riley Brooks.
Yeah.
That whole track is his playpen right now.
Well, he's just so creative in the things that he does behind the wheel, and he always has a plan, and he's always wanting to go forward. Right now, you see the next car he's going to go around is Joey Logano, and the last thing that Joey Logano wants to do right now is go a lap down. Joey had trouble.
You got 20 laps to go in stage 1.
Spun that car out, knocked the right rear off, had to start.
I'm assuming these tires will last by the end of the stage 1.
Chevrolets have led 41 of 105 laps so far, and except for Hamlin's Toyota, those Chevys have positions 1 through 6.
And the difference in the top and the bottom, Clint, as you know, it's a much different style of how you drive your car. You have to slow the car down a lot more on the bottom of the corner. So being able to make your car work on the bottom and the top is two different styles of driving, and you definitely need some different things to happen in the car.
I'm glad you brought that up.
And now Larson's just going to swing by Logano easily.
When the caution comes out, probably going to be next.
So there's only 25 cars on the lead lap.
It's wearing out a little bit on the bottom, but this outside line is getting way faster.
Say this. If you're one of the lap cars about to get laps, do not let Larson pass you.
17 laps to go in stage 1. Since NASCAR came up with stage racing, stage 1 at Bristol has never gone caution-free. This would be the first one.
Yeah, and I think part of that was just the first half of this run. Everybody not really knowing what to do. As we see some contact there with the 24 and the 2. William up the racetrack.
Definitely think the racing's going to change after stage 1. Everybody's trying to figure out their cars and figure out how the tires are working.
Lost 3 spots there. Yesterday we talked about crumbs, but they were of a different kind. It was the rubber coming off the tire.
Where is Hocevar running, by the way?
Marbles all over the top groove of the racetrack. Look at the difference today.
And that was the indication that the drivers had right off the bat. Hey, the tires aren't going to come apart today because those.
He's running top 5. He's having a good race. He showed some speed this year.
Big difference in the weather. The ambient temperature 50.
But he's also been running into drivers.
Huge in this full sunshine.
So
As we come down to 12 to go.
he's running in 6th. He just got passed by Stenhouse, I think. Or he just got past Stenhouse.
Performance cam. That is the leader. Kyle Larson.
But there goes Larson passing Priest. Trying to put Ryan Priest a lap down, but he is fighting on the outside.
So far, is that car right there a lap down the first one? Joey Logano, the 22 car, gained 12 spots. Wasn't enough.
Priest is not going to go away quietly here. He's battling hard to stay on the lead lap with Michael McDowell right in front of him, but I don't know, he's going to hang out there for another 10 laps.
Yeah, and these guys all had to decide.
Priest just got to move to the bottom. He had the opportunity to, but he didn't.
Tight cars and handling all the things that they had to decide before the race. And right now, some of those guys are getting fit and going flat down.
The rest of them are starting to fall off.
See, look at this.
We got about 9 laps to go to stage 1. Larson still side by side with Ryan Preece. That's letting Hamlin catch up. And now Preece finally gets that inside, but Larson's going to try to pass him on the outside. Squeezes on the inside, and Larson's got that inside back.
Moving up the racetrack when the track was not rubbered up. Now it's rubbered up and you can run anywhere on the racetrack. But this will definitely probably be.
McDowell is also in front of Larson. And it looks like Larson cannot clear Preece yet. But I think after this corner, he'll finally clear him. Let's see. Not yet. Preece is doing everything he can with that car of his to try to keep Larson from lapping him. And he's got to do it for more than 5 laps. Clear for now. That'll give Logano the free pass if Preece can stay ahead. And there's Hamlin, less than a second. See, I'm telling you, as long as Preece stays behind, in front of Larson, that's going to slow him down. And Hamlin is now in the picture. Larson was trying to be more aggressive with Preece, but he just doesn't have the momentum in his car to get past Preece completely. And now he's finally going to pass him. Took a lot of laps to do it. But now Larson's going to be on the top, and he's possibly going to be sailing, but he's got to get past McDowell as well. Man, that made it a little bit entertaining, but it looks like Larson's going to win this stage now. Unless he makes a mistake. Or lap car battles him. So after the final lap, Larson's going to win stage 1. And it looks like Ryan Preece. McDowell's going to be the first car 1 lap down.
Imagine this adorable family.
Man, lap traffic made that interesting for that stage 1 there. But Larson was still able to hold on.
They'll help pay off those old phones. Cheerios. And we get 4 new iPhone 16s on there. I'm aware we're using puppies to tell you about T-Mobile's amazing deals, but the other guys are making you pay more. I don't think they have any puppies.
T-Mobile's Family Freedom, our lowest cost to switch, our biggest family savings. We'll give you new iPhone 16s on us. Plus,
Because his car is terrible and he's driving with a slower team. That's why.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like check your car's not on empty first before going to the drive-thru.
I forgot to fill it up.
Yeah, checking first is smart. Alright, so check Allstate first and save even more when you click or call.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Oh yeah, great day.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Just for Men gives you your strongest, tallest, thickest looking hair yet. Mustache and beard, now with keratin. In just 5 minutes, score your best beard ever. Just for Men.
the NASCAR Xfinity Series hottest young drivers. Roaring to Rockingham.
Yaley's also in the back laps down as well.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series this Saturday in Rockingham at 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific.
Cool weather is here. Make sure your home stays warm and welcoming with Morrison. Our expert team provides reliable heating services, from quick tune-ups to complete system upgrades, all designed to keep you comfortable. Whether you need a small repair or a new efficient system, Morrison is ready to serve with dedication and expertise. Enjoy peace of mind knowing your comfort is in good hands.
Here we go. Pit stops are going to happen now.
To keep your home cozy all season.
Well, Hamlin's pit crew have it in them to beat Hendrick Motorsports off pit road again. We'll have to see.
People customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. They're just a flightless bird.
I did see a little bit of a truck race. Larson got speeding penalty, and he just couldn't recover. Bro is not Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is the only one to sweep a weekend, and he did it twice.
Ace's new Yard RX program prescribes the best lawn care, specific to your yard's needs, delivered every season. Because when you want greener grass, less weeds, and fewer bugs, now you can get a personal prescription delivered to you from the helpful folks at Ace. You'll get everything you need at our best price each season, guaranteed. From our store to your front door, with service so good it's guaranteed.
So that tells me if the track gets cloudy, it may change the track completely. Because you notice it's sunny. It's not like it was yesterday in practice where drivers were struggling. So if it stays sunny all day, that's going to be in Larson's favor. I don't know. You tell me. I think it's more of bad luck for Larson. Because there's some drivers, they're good at restrictor plate tracks and they never win.
Now this year, his team has a new front changer, and so far their chemistry has been very impressive. Let's meet Team 11.
Austin Maloney, front tire changer, newest member on the 11. Kevin Euchre, rear tire changer, former Taco Bell burrito master.
Bill now, tire carrier, and the best back flipper in the NASCAR garage.
Kevin Purcell, fueler, 22 years on pit road and looking for my 5th championship.
Troy Dennings on Guardiola. I'm the Jackman, former Green Bay Packer running back, and I'm the guy with the moves you're going to hear about.
Oh, former Packer running back working on Hamlin's pit crew. Let's go. My Packers got shouted out.
I love that, Kev. I'm the man with the moves you've been talking about.
Well, his moves are winning moves, so I like that too. Confidence.
All right, let's have a look at pit road because at Bristol here, it is different. We pit on both sides of the racetrack.
Well, you see right here, you enter off of back straightaway and front straightaway.
Now remember, Bristol is a unique track because there's two sides of pit road, one on the back straightaway and one on the front.
You can up the pit road speed. So going in and out of these sections right here are not.
So it's going to be interesting to see how these pit stops go.
You have to slow down and speed up. Speed up going into the corner, slow down coming out of the corner, and that's where you get a lot of speeding penalties trying to maximize that pit road speed.
Because as Larry Mack explained, it's time over distance. That's how they measure whether or not you are speeding in each one of those sections. And it's all done by computer. There's no human element involved.
Used to have the old stopwatch sitting up in the NASCAR officiating booth.
Probably Alex Pillow.
Penalty or not today, not the case.
He thinks he's Max Verstappen.
All right, here are our pit crew rankings coming into this ninth race of the season. With Paul Wallace's team at the top, led by Charles Tonight, and Benny Hamlin's team right there, led by Chris Gale. Last year's best team, Christopher Bell, in 8th place right now, according to our rankings.
Well, it was on full display last week in Darlington. Denny Hamlin said in pre-race, all the praise goes to that team effort.
Here we go.
And every victory.
Everybody's pitting now.
All right, here come the lead lap cars to pit road. Regan.
Carson Wilson in the 77 car. Very good start to the race. A little bit too tight with the front of the race car, but he can't afford to have it any looser. They did have the reins pulled back on him pretty much the entire run right there. In the 7 car, Justin Haley, just a little bit too green with the right rear right now. Not sure what to tell him otherwise. He likes it. They were being conservative in terms of adjustments. They're going to leave it alone for this next run. Jamie?
And around along the first stretch, Denny Hamlin in the 11 comes in second. He said, I'm a little tight center, but that's all I've got so far in this first run. Meanwhile, the 5, Kyle Larson started off tight, and it freed up a bit. Look, Danielson, what do you need? He said, I really don't know. I don't know what to expect and how it's going to change. So no adjustments for the 5.
Now, why was there such a big gap between cars along pit road? Because there were a lot of lap cars. There were 3 between Larson and Hamlin, and there were 6.
Look at that. Look how close Hamlin's crew got to Larson.
And you can't close up. You all have
But Larson crew still wins them the race off pit road.
most every lap. Of stage 1 to
So Larson's still going to be the leader.
the rest.
Can anybody challenge him for the lead today?
Leave the extravagance. The attention. The celebrity. The bragging rights. The bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
During month of free, Buffalo Wild Wings game with me. Free bonus wings, free delivery, a sandwich that is free, free burger, and a free dessert. All because I joined rewards for a month of free.
Bush Guy, cold and smooth survival skills. In unpredictable conditions, pack layers, both for your body and your beer.
So it looks like.
What's better than a limited time deal?
So Larson, of course, is still the leader. You got Hamlin, Justin Haley, Alex Bowman, Carson Oswald, Ty Gibbs had a good pit stop. He's in sixth. Seventh, Christopher Bell. Eighth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ninth, Ryan Blaney. 10th, Chase Briscoe. So that kind of bunched up the field on pit road. So I think Denny Hamlin's going to win. He's won 2 in a row. He's going to make it 3.
It's not from within. It must be pursued. Confidence is not a mindset. It's an achievement.
Seems like Larson has the best car. They got the track figured out, but it depends on if Hamlin's team can figure the car out as well. That's going to make the difference.
That's over 4,000 in average finance savings.
At Drive Time, we make it easy to buy a car. Get a tool on your phone, shop for cars on your phone, customize your terms on your phone. I mean, the deal I want on the car I want. And the deal you make on your phone is a deal you pay at the real Drive Time dealership.
Be right back. I'm going to go grab me another Baja Blast.
I'm gonna go buy that car. Get in there. It's the same deal I made on my phone. It's the same deal. This is a commercial. Go get your real deal at drivetime.com.
At Mothers, we appreciate the simple things. The life less complicated. That's the inspiration behind Mother's new California Gold ceramic line of products. The easiest way to clean, correct, and protect your way to a whole level of deep ceramic, glass-like glitter, superior hydrophobic protection, and head-turning shine.
I don't think that's determined yet.
Ceramic.
I think Truex said he is running more races, but they don't know what other races yet. Or if there was an announcement, I have not heard about it.
Why we're wearing these cans on our ears so we can hear better. But then, Jamie, work with me here. Play along. Yes, we're enjoying them. I know it's loud. It's up their valley. That's what it is. That's why they call it that. And it's kind of what we expected, right? Kyle Larson rolling along, and obviously Denny Hamlin right there going for his third straight. But who else are you keeping your close watch on?
Well, it's just fire cars. Haley and those cars both from the top five at the end of that. But I'm going to say, I think it'll be a totally different race when we go back to race here. The guys that learned that the tires aren't wearing, like what we saw on practice yesterday. Garbage Warrior kind of emphasized that. I think we see a totally different race on the next stage.
So that tire, man. And thank you, by the way, for sharing this. You guys doing okay with it all? You can hear it? Okay, good. I just heard the cue. We're going back to the booth, right?
Thank you, Chris. All right, pre-race. Ricky Stenhouse qualified on the outside of the front row, so he and Mike Kelly allowed us to sit in on their team meeting.
For me, just let's capitalize on today. We got a really good car and best car I've had here in practice and in qualifying in a very, very long time. We can win at these next few tracks that we have coming up. So we'll go get them today.
Nobody panic, right? The car is still the car. Denny did start the last stage.
Yeah, don't.
Run last year on lap 367.
Probably this year or next year. Dude's already like 47 or 48. Let's see. So, yeah, Stenhouse is doing good in the top 10. Don't forget, back in 2014, Stenhouse almost won at Bristol, but it got cut short to rain, and Carl Edwards won that race.
Listening to Kyle Larson's radio, he's led over 100 laps now. This is what Cliff Daniels had to tell him after those tires came off.
They still had wear pin holes left. He was at the bottom of the wear pin holes, but still had left.
Wow, as hard as he was running. Can you believe that you just heard that man say that after watching practice yesterday?
I can, and because of the way well, not after practice, but after practice, I told you we were in big trouble. But when you started seeing that rubber started to lay down on the racetrack, but Larry, I would say that this is definitely the worst run that we're going to have today as far as tire wear.
Yeah, but regardless of what the track tip is, this track had no rubber. It's what we call green. The only thing that was on the racetrack was a traction compound and the bottom 4 feet, no rubber whatsoever.
So, Kyle Busch and SVG got caught for speeding.
Shane Van Gisbergen speeding on pit road, and not in that curve section in 3 and 4, but along the straightaway, Larry told us. Austin Cindric hitting out of the box. So he will restart.
Cindric pitted out of the box as well, so he's going to be in the back. It's going to be interesting to see how this restart's going to go.
The thing that happens here, it's so easy, especially if you're in second gear with that low RPM, you're able to surge past the limiter that you have for pit road speed, and it gets real easy to get out of that box because
Kyle Larson, probably. He seems unstoppable at this point.
Hard to get going on the inside. Always a challenge. We go for stage 2.
Look at that. Larson got a slingshot on that restart.
Lost a couple spots right off the bat to the outside row. And the thing that we're going to see different this time is you're going to see everybody hammer down. They know that the tires are no longer an issue. See Ty Gibbs up on the outside, and now Carson Hocevar.
Oh, here comes Hocevar on the outside trying to make some ground. But Larson's car is just that good. And Hamlin's lost a couple positions on the restart. It seems like drivers are starting to use that outside. But Hamlin's going to gain it back on Ty Gibbs. Now Hamlin's under Hocevar, trying to get third. And Hocevar's going to lose that spot. So you could make a pass on the outside if you do it quick, but if you're stuck up there, you're going to wear your tires more, and you're not going to get the pass done.
First car double wide, it's going to be Josh Berry in the 21. That's back in 13th place.
Yeah, Josh Berry and William Byron and some of the other drivers are trying to use that outside. You just got to use it quick.
You see right now everybody's setting their fast lap. They've got new tires on. Kyle Larson, he's put the lap time down to.
Speaking of William Byron, this was my recent diecast order. Got his beautiful Exalta paint scheme.
And that's all a choice. These guys decided at the beginning of the race that they needed to pace themselves until they understood the tire. Right now, it's just go as fast as you can go every lap.
Now it's track position. Back to the Oscar BLT cam on board Keselowski. And here's another look at it. Oh, man. I like Keselowski. Oh, that's what started that. And that was the aftermath.
And a lot of that was probably just Bubba Wallace trying to diamond that.
Yeah, now you see Josh Berry falling down on the outside.
Coming back down all the way into that bottom line. So stuff that can happen here at Bristol as you have cars.
So like I said, if you're going to pass on the outside, you've got to do it as quick as you can. Oh, Stenhouse getting into Chase Briscoe for 10th place. Yeah, since they know the drivers can push their cars to the limit, they are racing a lot more aggressive, trying to get past each other.
So he may pass this way. darn sure that car can't get back to your rear bumper right away. Really good point. You can move them. There's still a lot of racing left. So that's
Yeah, but what I do notice, Larson has not put as big as a gap as he did earlier. They're actually staying close behind him. Haley and Hamlin are within a second of Larson. Both of ours in fourth. The Spire cars are doing pretty good today.
The other guy that has had a lot of success running third right now, Denny Hamlin. So Haley's a little bit of a surprise to be up there in the middle of those two guys.
I think that's credit to them taking off, risking it early on, got in the track position that they needed. This has become a track position game. Much like we saw last week in Darlington, you must keep the track position. Caution comes out at the wrong time, it can nab you.
Advent Health came right here with Eric Jones on the inside of Ty Gibbs.
Ty Dillon.
Or, yeah, Ty Dillon, sorry. Thank you, Mike.
Spoiler can't look there.
Josh Berry still on the outside. That Sugar right behind.
Hard to explain the challenge. You're watching right along with Eric Jones and that car on the outside. You need that real estate to move up the track. They pitch you off, and you can hear him working that gas. Can't put it all the way down. Cut your line off. You're pulling on the wheel really hard, trying to stay off of that outside car. Very challenging around the tight corners in Bristol.
We continue on to green. When we come back, Kyle Larson will be closing in on lapping cars once again. 160 laps in.
Yeah, so this race has changed completely.
To tell you the truth,
It's going different than what everybody expected.
the attention, the celebrity.
It seems like the biggest thing is going to be track position. So I wonder if we do get like cautions, you're going to see some drivers maybe stay out. That could be possible.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Push guy, golden smooth smile skills.
My watch is broken.
You can tell time by measuring the sun's distance from the horizon.
Got a little bit chilly in here. I had to adjust the fan.
And for the mountains. Dirty moms of free Buffalo Wild Wings gave to me. Free boneless wings, free delivery, a sandwich that is free.
So yeah, this race is looking a lot like it's going to be in Larson's favor. Unless that pit crew messes up or if Larson messes up. Trying to get through lap traffic.
You can make a difference. The legacy continues April 21st on Fox.
Wherever the road takes you, Chevy is ready to drive you forward. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters.
At the moment, Justin Haley's only a half a second behind Larson. Hamlin's still in third.
9% APR plus no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2025 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado, or get $5,350 total value. Plus, current competitive owners can get an additional $1,500 cash allowance when you purchase. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area.
With 170 laps complete at Bristol, next weekend the UFL takes over the weekend of the Fox Football Extravaganza. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'll see it all next weekend on Fox.
Yeah, no racing next week. We got Easter break next week. And WrestleMania if you're a wrestling fan. It's not as interesting this year if you're getting into it. The build-up just hasn't been good.
I can't tell you how much
But Talladega will be in 2 weeks. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But for right now, we are at Bristol, and Larson has extended the gap on Justin Haley. It definitely seems like Larson's the man to beat. But Hamlin has closed the gap on Justin Haley. I think it's more of Haley's car starting to fall off. As you can see, Hamlin also using it outside with Justin Haley. Kind of like that Larson line that Larson was using earlier. Now Hamlin's going to go to the bottom. Is he going to gain any time on Haley? Haley's got that slingshot out of the corner. But now they're maneuvering through lap traffic, so that's going to change how these drivers have to pass each other. Hamlin staying tucked on that bottom. But he's got the dirty air of Ryan Preece, and that is affecting him from trying to pass Haley right now. But that's letting Hocevar close in.
Being able to just smash the gas, be aggressive, make lap time. That's what it takes to be really good here at Bristol.
Oh, spin! Right in front of Hamlin. Shane Van Gisbergen. And that's going to be the first caution for a spin. Right in front of Hamlin. I think Hamlin avoided it. It looked like he slowed down as he saw SVG spinning right in front of him. But we got the first caution out for today. He lost a spot in the Hocevar, but he didn't lose the race because of that move.
It looks like Ryan Preece, who fought hard to stay away from the lap down. Well, I think
Let's watch what happened here.
Up here in the top right, watch Shane Van Gisbergen get to the inside of him, runs out of real estate trying to...
Yeah, ran out of room on Cody Ware. Cody Ware was also involved in that.
That's racing.
Yeah, Hamlin just checked up.
Here's Hocevar's view of what happened between Cody Ware and Shane Van Gisbergen.
Look at that right in front of Denny Hamlin. Woo-hoo, that was close.
Yeah, definitely looked like Shane just got a little bit loose, missed his mark up the racetrack a little higher, and then
He was getting crowded pretty hard, too. Didn't tear that car up much. What are you thinking, Larry? We didn't?
I said we might see a mixed bag. Like, we run 35 laps again. The fall off is not that huge. We only have to go to lap 250 to end the stage, so probably you're looking at about 65 laps. To me, it looks like a track position race. Watch that track position.
See who pits and who doesn't.
The Fox to catch the IndyCar Series on the streets of Southern California for the 50th Long Beach Grand Prix. That's later today on Fox. The teams were allowed to purchase 9 sets of brand new tires for today's race, plus the set they qualified on. And this morning, NASCAR allowed each team another set of tires with the concern about tire wear. So 10 sets of new tires plus the scuffs from qualifying are available today.
probably going to have some extras now that the racetrack is rubbered up. So this will be interesting, like Larry said, as to is track position that much more important? Is the pace what's going to be?
Let's see who stays out and who pits.
Well, let's look at that. Somewhere around after 35 laps, they were running 1590s. All right, we'll go back to that last run.
Hamlin is back in third, by the way.
Running 1580s on lap 100. So I don't know. I think the track position game is alive and well.
Well, we know that Joe Gibbs Racing leads in the win column this season, but the Gibbs Performance Center has also been hard at work on pit stops. Now, this is what we saw last year at Richmond, a different choreography of the pit stop. Then at Daytona, a timed pit stop displayed on the iPad for the driver. Timed fueling there, and we talked earlier about this slick move, the jack from the right to the left side of the car move, all chasing fractions of a second.
He didn't come up with that, though. Our man Junior Johnson did. I saw that first back then.
All right, Ricky Stenhouse from ninth is the first of the cars to pit. The front 8 stayed out under this caution light. So we'll take a break from Bristol.
All right, so they're taking a commercial break. It's going to be interesting to see how pit stops are going to go.
If our network goes down,
This definitely changes the race.
Our comms have to work.
well, the mission won't.
That's why they partner with Verizon Frontline, the network that truly prioritizes first responders.
So we don't worry about getting through. And they're the most reliable 5G network in America.
I mean, this is the first time we're seeing caution flag pit stops today, so besides the stage, of course. But this is early in the run, so if you see the drivers that are pitting in front of you, you may want to stay out. But if drivers in front are going to stay out, then you're going to want to pit. We'll see what happens.
It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Ask your doctor about Breztri.
Did you know Toyota has 3 NASCAR Cup teams? We got Team 2311, owned by this guy. And every time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs. And they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club, co-owned by 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after one car. Now you're up to speed. You in?
Hey, Tyler, I think I have what it takes to be part of a NASCAR pit crew.
You?
Yeah, I mean, we keep Xfinity Internet fast and reliable at home and on the go. It's kind of like keeping cars fast and reliable on the track.
You felt that and coolant and driving with your sunglasses on.
It doesn't make it cooler.
What's a jack?
Don't bring him into this.
I don't know, man. I mean, you asked if we could swap gasoline once.
Okay. I shouldn't be in the pit crew. I meant driver.
Maybe just stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
Xfinity is your super fast connection to NASCAR. I got another Papa Pairings order. I need 3 medium pepperoni, 2 ordered wings, breadsticks, cheese sticks, brownies.
Call the right place, sir.
This order is my address.
We're making you Papa Pairings for $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
It's Kubota Orange Days, now through June 30th. Get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details and find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Here's John Hunter Nemechek leaving pit road after his stop. We'll switch to the rear view and watch the right side of your screen here. There she goes right there. That's the lug nut off the left side. And the wheel and tire of that left started rolling down pit road.
I guess they did pit stops on their commercial break, I'm assuming.
Suarez crew comes around and just misses being hit by that errant wheel and tire.
That was really, really lucky that tire did not hit that crew member. That would have been a bad deal.
Did they get that tire?
I'd keep it.
There's the single lug nut.
Let's see, what does this...
18-inch BBS alloy wheel.
Yeah, I'm assuming the leader stayed out.
Now it's retained. Once that nut goes on past that brightly colored stop, the wheel should not be able to, or the nut should not be able to unwind it.
Yeah, well, obviously, they most likely didn't get put in those dowels, and the lug nut never went on, and then the safety pin never released, so the lug nut never got to the point of that pin popping out to keep the lug nut on there.
You got to remember, so the driver should never have left the pit. Well, but you got to remember that wheel's alloy, right? The studs that go in, you see all, look here. These studs here go into those holes, right? And they have a lot of them so it can index different ways. That thing can get crooked on there and hold it up with a soft alloy wheel, and it can also go and get in between those holes, believe it or not. And it's alloy, it's soft, and when it does that, it holds it away from that keeper. The lug nut is not on. The good thing, it happened on pit road. The penalty, he has to start at the tail end of the line, unlike if it had come off on the racetrack.
Watching that tire roll down pit road. Whew. Man, that's
Yes, it looks like the leaders did not pit. So that means we'll see where they choose. Larson picks the outside, Hamlin on the inside. Interesting.
Yes, 3 of which were speeding.
Yeah.
A lot of bottom fishers here.
Well,
on this choose.
Yeah, and we've seen that bottom be dominant, and that's when it gets cleaned up. You can kind of run that second lane, but as much grip as that bottom lane has right now, currently with them reapplying that PJ1 overnight, it's going to take a couple hundred laps or maybe 300 laps to start wearing that out.
So when we restart, the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone is right at the exit of turn number 4. A lot of those cars are still on the curve. How much more difficult is it to restart and fire off when you're in the middle of a corner?
It's a timing thing. And
Right, here we go. Larson on the outside, Hamlin on the inside.
Spin the tires and lose anything, so you kind of just anticipate it and just try to not lose. Don't make any big mistakes.
And the green flag's back in the air.
Especially on cold tires.
Larson did not get as good of a start as he did, but it's not going to matter because Larson's still out ahead. Hamlin's going to remain in second. So it might have been a good idea for him to pick the inside. But here comes a fast-charging Justin Haley on the outside, and Hamlin goes to block. And Alex Bowman, Larson's teammate, trying to make a move. But Hamlin's trying to use that outside. I don't know about using that outside right now.
Things will start to even out on the guys that stayed out.
They didn't have trouble taking off, and he didn't get him close.
Oh, Hamlin got loose there.
I think a lot of that. I mean, he might be.
You don't want to get too far out on the outside. You can end up wrecking almost what Hamlin just did.
They don't fire off very well.
I think Hamlin was just trying something, and he better stick to that inside.
So everybody back to Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick. Did not stop. They are on the older tires. And trying to gain some ground. Here comes Ricky Stenhouse, Bubba Wallace, and everybody who got fresh tires behind them.
Oh, Byron almost got into A.J. Allmendinger right there. Now they're 3 wide. Allmendinger had to back out of that.
When you see Ryan Blaney,
There wasn't much room left there, but he's going to bump William Byron.
we saw that his car was really fast on the long
Was not happy with Byron squeezing them there.
Definitely one that we need to keep our eye on to see if he can make.
And now teammates.
Make these passes with those.
Justin Haley and Carson Hocevar. Yeah, I see that outside's kind of loose right now. Haley was kind of wiggling.
Ryan Blaney
Seems like the track has changed quite a bit.
in the top 13. He's 10 on fresh tires. The others not able to advance. Here's a look at Blaney's last 4 races. He has passed an average of 40 cars per race, 4 positions, but has lost an average of 6 positions on pit road each race. On the track, driver rating of first, 18th on restarts, pit crew ranking not so well, as he was the leader on the last caution flag there at Darlington last week, but Denny Hamlin had the right pit stall and the right pit stop to get him his position to win. Wallace and Stenhouse are the next 2 drivers on fresh tires behind Blake.
You're going to need this to go deep into a run before those fresh tires will ever show you the advantage. I think, again,
Going back to that first run, those guys, when I saw them guys laying the same lap times down, on lap 110, 115, if they can run on 20.
There goes Elliott trying to get past Austin Dillon.
track position game was
Chase Elliott's been stuck between 15th and 20th all day. Not making much ground at all.
They had made a slight air pressure adjustment to help him. Got 2 spots behind him, Denny Hamlin. All he pulled the team to stop was trying to run less straight, floating into the corner, and he gets really tight. He's also 3 up high as well, so not as happy with the balance of that race car. He didn't make any air pressure adjustment on his stop.
Right behind Denny Hamlin is a 20-car Christopher Bell. Been battling 3 off of turn 4, fighting for.
Yeah, so your top 10 as they run, we got Larson, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Carson Hocevar, Justin Haley, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, and Ryan Blaney's in the top 10. William Byron's knocking on the door in 11th. And Ryan Blaney's got the freshest tires, who pitted on that last stop in 10th.
They went with a very aggressive setup, anticipating that if the track did get to where we had a longer run race, they'd do better.
Very typical Bristol. When the pace picks up like this, you get in sync, you get in your rhythm, Kevin. You start knocking the corner up.
So it seems like tires aren't really doing as much. They're newer or older.
Run cool. Brakes don't like to run cool. They start vibrating. That goes up.
And like you said, that material from the brake pad builds up on the rotor. And in these cars, they have really big calipers, big brake pads, big rotors to go along with that. And that shake is really annoying, and it actually affects your rhythm as a driver in the way that you can brake into the corners. So
We're only on lap 208. Lap 250 will be halfway.
And violent. It's hard to explain how violent it'll shake the steering wheel. I mean, you said it. It throws you off your rhythm in a big way because that wheel is shaking really hard.
24 cars on the lead lap, led by Kyle Larson again. He will be lapping cars when we come back from this side-by-side break.
Yeah, I feel like Larson's going to win. His car is just that good.
Family-friendly facilities. Trading paint. And tailgating tradition. Burgers, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time, and you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
And it looks like, I think that might be J.J. Yaley in the 66, or is that somebody else? But somebody's being pulled behind the wall. No, that's Josh Bilicki.
It's Swedish. That's a whole rabbit. Name's Food.
Well, it's really
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to stop Larson unless he loses the race for himself, which he has done that before. Remember back in 23 at Homestead, he was in that battle with Ryan Blaney, and instead
You can fit a lot of vacations.
he was trying to beat him on getting on the pit road, and he hit the tire barrier.
Book your next
So
weekend getaway. Book very
anything can happen, but it's looking very unlikely anybody's going to beat Larson here today.
Turned into even more superior ways to protect the inside.
Oh, we still got a long race left. Anything can happen.
That led to enhanced ways to protect your home and to keep your pets safe. Next came the best ways to secure and protect your phone.
There's battles going around across the field. It's just
But the most important thing
Larson stuck in the lead.
American jobs. WeatherTech, made right in America.
Introducing 2 new Baja Chipotle subs featuring our world-famous Baja Chipotle sauce. Listen, it's the Baja Chipotle talking. Well, it's actually me talking, but you know what I mean. Find your fresh with the new Baja Chipotle collection at Subway.
NASCAR fans, earn the drivers. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fanrewards.
This Easter, the UFL takes over spring's biggest weekend. With the Fox Football Extravaganza. 3 nights, 3 UFL games, 1 network. The Fox Football
And not really much is changing for the top 10. Just Larson is that good.
Completed 94 laps into stage 2, which will end at halfway in this race. Lap 250, Kyle Larson picking up right where he left off last fall. Dominating performance after Alex Bowman led the first 39 laps. Larson has not been headed, and now he's back in lap traffic.
Yeah, I think besides the first few laps with Bowman in the lead, Larson has led every single lap.
Regan said the crew was watching the drama at the back of the car, and a tire got away at the front of the car.
Yeah, watch this right front tire to get over here, right in to that fuel guy's way, interferes with the guy in front of them, big trouble.
This is from inside Suarez's car. You see that tire go away into the fueler of Corey LaJoie's car ahead. So that's 6 penalties so far, 3 of which were for speeding. As we're coming up on halfway, about 27 laps here. Well, Ryan Preece again. trying to hold back Kyle Larson. This will be the third time that we've seen this. Each of the previous.
So here's Larson trying to lap some cars again. But Priest was giving Larson a difficult time before the end of stage one. We'll see if he does that again.
I'd love to hear the in-car right there, being able to listen to him.
25 laps to go in stage two, by the way.
Yeah, that time when he went back to the gas, he was able to stay with it down here. 3 and 4. Stay with it. That time before that, it didn't quite do it. You heard womp, 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 womp.
It's pretty wild to watch the way that he raises his hand up on that steering wheel going into the corner.
I thought the same thing. What is that? Wrist hurt?
I'm not sure.
Never done that before.
He's got his steering wheel upside down.
He's got an oblong steering wheel.
And it looks like that car is tight, or it sounds like that car is tight just listening to the throttle. He just has to wait and then dump the throttle on the exit.
Coming up yesterday, he seems to have a quicker ratio steering rack than a lot of the drivers because he doesn't need to turn the wheel as much. Driver choice.
And now Larson's trying to pass on that outside, but he's also got Cole Custer right in front of him.
Custer 2 laps down.
And Larson looks like he's going to pass him easy this time.
Larson moves on. That's Christopher Bell moving up to 4th spot on Hosmar.
I've been watching Christopher Bell, and he's...
Hosmar had to back down right there. Almost got into Christopher Bell.
Such a Christopher Bell thing. When this track comes down to it, you need a driver to move around. You need these dirt drivers.
Yeah,
they're capable of watching this racetrack, moving around, finding the grip, because you know that traction compound is eventually going to wear out on the bottom. Doesn't surprise me you see two of the best dirt racers in the field, Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, running right here at the front.
Bell's going to be one of our Toyota top performers. Denny Hamlin currently 3rd. Christopher Bell in 4th. Ty Gibbs in 7th. Chase Briscoe in 8th. Tyler Reddick 10th.
See Bell up there on the top of the racetrack, and as more guys keep running up there, I see more and more cars going.
Yeah, Bell is trying to make that outside work on Hamlin now.
That racetrack is ground a little bit different than the rest of the racetrack in that top lane, so it's got bigger chunks taken out of the concrete. So it tends to take a little bit longer to get that rubber in, but once it does, it's like a light switch, and these guys are going to be on the top of that track. And if the PJ1 on the bottom of the racetrack wears out a little bit, just loses just a touch of speed, that's when that top lane is really going to be the dominant lane.
Yeah, Bell looks like he's got a good car right now. He is making moves through the field. Not that far behind Bowman, and now Hamlin's going to lose another position to Hocevar.
Back in the day, you used to rim right on the outside. From the middle to the outside, you ride the wall, can find really good speed up there. I had to dive in the corner kind of the way they are now.
Now, Bell and Hocevar, they're trying to move forward. They're going to have to go to the bottom because Daniel Suarez, a lap down, is up there in that top lane. That orange car is Suarez.
Look how much rubber is up there on that outside.
As he like the outside lane starting to work now.
Is 2 laps down, but Christopher Bell is the one that's rolling. He and Hocevar both are rolling pretty good.
Talked about track position. The 12 drivers that stayed out, and we've run over 40 laps. They're all inside the top 13 right now. The only one that's cracked inside of them is Ryan Blaney in that 12.
And we see that. We just covered that with Blaney. You know he's going to go to the front. I don't care if it's old tires, new tires, whatever the case may be. That's always going to the front.
What's surprising that he's the only one that's been able to crack the top dozen of the cars that stayed out.
They don't matter. It mattered yesterday.
Clint, I always felt like the two ends of these racetracks had a little bit different grind as you go and you watch Chase Briscoe. Let's see, just like I'm driving, I'm trying to figure out which end of the track he's in here. Yeah, so now he's in 3 and 4, but I always felt like the grind, the way that the track was ground in 3 and 4 kind of went with the direction of the corner.
And so it seems like tires don't really do as much at all. Blaney's the only one to make some ground.
About 3/4 of the way up off the corner in that high lane, but I always felt like that grinding in the top in 3 and 4 allowed you to kind of give it more partial throttle and power through the center of the corner with the way that corner was diamond ground and cut the concrete service.
And then go back to 1 and 2. Turn 2, actually, that bump over there. It depended on, how hard you were on the stops or whatever, the right front spring you had. If it bottomed out over there, you were in trouble. You were always able to get around that bump, ride the wall a little bit better than I did. That bump is a very crucial part of this track. That's what differentiates turns 1 and 2 to 3 and 4.
And there's one other difference. The way the sun comes across this racetrack at this time of year, turns 1 and 2, at least to this point of the day, have been hotter. The concrete's been hotter than up in turns 3 and 4, which was
Yeah, the race has been okay besides this Larson. Nobody's challenging him.
It did come in a little bit faster in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4.
Well, you're really starting to be able to see as you watch Riley Herbst and Kyle Larson.
There's 5 laps to go in stage 2. We're about to have another caution in a second.
Now, what'll happen as you start to run that top lane, the exits of these corners, you see some of the debris from the tires.
That's the cushion.
Yeah, don't go up there. That's not the cushion, and that it will grab you and just suck you right into that fence.
I was going to say, somebody as high as it is in both corners, right in the apex of the corner, you're going to see somebody hit the wall, jump that cushion and get the fence.
We're about to see Kyle Larson get impatient with Riley Herbst there, who swept up the racetrack up into the line that Larson wanted. And he responded by tugging on the wheel and driving to the inside.
He's got such a lead now, he can afford some patience. Be patient inside that car. He got time with these lappers. Time them, be patient with him, get the job done.
Herbst going 2 laps down here, and Nemechek just ahead.
That's another reason. It's one thing to go 1 lap down. You go 2 laps down here, you're in big trouble. Slide job. How about that?
I see him just drive up there and block that lane from Riley Herbst, and that's just like, hey, I'm done with this. I'm moving up here.
See, 1 lap to go for Larson. He's got a pretty good car.
Final lap of the stage.
It's going to take something major to stop Larson today. So he's going to win stage 2.
Stage wins. Tying Martin Truex Jr.
That's halfway in this race.
All-time list. 2 stages halfway at Bristol. And the pit crew's getting ready.
All right. Can anybody on pit road stop Larson? We'll have to see.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 Big Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh frozen beef and apple smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Coming back! Emu can't help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Well, I'll be. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
It's Pod's biggest sale in history. Save up to 30% on moving and storage until May 19th. And see why Pods is America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating or renovating, save up to 30% at pods.com today.
Choose 1 appetizer and 2 entrees. Applebee's famous 2 for $25 with new sizzling skillets and steak.
Bush Guy, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Press Truck Series. Where does confidence come from?
Man, I sure hope somebody can just get a better car or something. I'm tired of watching Larson dominate.
Confidence is not a mindset. It's an
Had to go through Byron dominating most of the race, and now you got Larson dominating.
in the GMC Sierra HD AT4X. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on Sierra heavy-duty models. That's over $4,000 in average finance savings. Style or substance. Somehow it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or Get 0.9% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. That's over $4,300 in average finance savings.
Visit your Greater St. Louis GMC dealers.
Drink on the job, drink on the job. Everyone is drinking on the job. Yeah, everyone is drinking on the job. Drink on the job, drink on the job.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone slaps Larson on pit stops.
Next week, NASCAR returns to The Rock with the Xfinity and Truck Series. Coverage kicks off Friday with Truck Series practice and qualifying at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on FS2.
The police had to attend to my crime.
In the end,
Oh yeah, I forgot.
these scenarios a lot.
Xfinity and Truck Series are racing at Rockingham next weekend. So there is some racing next weekend. Just no Cup Series racing.
So we covered it during the race. We see the technique that those guys are using on the pit stop, and like Denny said in the victory lap, getting in the pit stall down pit road. The pit crew does
Yeah, in the Xfinity Series next week, Casey Kane's making his return into 33 for RCR.
all this migrates closer and closer together, executing all these plays to put yourself in a position to take advantage of the scenario like they did at the end of one race.
One of the best podcasts in NASCAR. Join Kevin every Tuesday and Thursday. Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour, presented by Echo Park Automotive, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, we take a look at the top five right now. Larson, Bowman, Bell, Hocevar, and Hamlin. According to our pit crew rankings, the way they would come off pit road would be Hamlin, Bowman, Larson, Bell, Hocevar. We'll see how it turns out.
All right, let's see.
This race is playing out here. That's where the money's going to be made.
This could decide the race on who wins on pit road here. But if we don't have a caution towards the end, we may have green flag pit stops later on as well.
Remember, under caution, everybody enters the pits at turn 2 and exits at turn 1, as you see from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Has seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100th to the Goodyear Blade. Pit road not yet open.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of time to clean the racetrack up on all of these cautions to get those marbles off of that top groove on the entry and exit. So, from a driver's standpoint, you're paying attention to that because you want to see where this racetrack is green. You can get a good eye on that PJ1 on the bottom of the racetrack and that traction compound to be able to tell where that rubber's built up on those sections.
Look how you can see where that big ground down there and then where it wasn't. You can definitely see the aggregate in the concrete up on the top of the racetrack versus in the middle. That's when it gets on that ground surface and you get the rubber burning into that, it is ripping.
So sweepers working hard in turns 1 and 2. As you see at the top of the screen, and this time, pit road is
Okay, here it comes. Everybody on pit road.
Carson Hocevar in the 77's car is very good right now. So good, they almost contemplated staying out, opted not to. They didn't want to be exposed. The 7 car, Justin Haley, a little bit too edgy as the cars have moved up the racetrack. And the 20 car, Christopher Bell, who's going to come around the straight all the way to the turn 4 pit stop. Just a little bit tight, 1 and 2, and freed up as he went along. The brake shake got better, and they are going to stop him short so he can get around the Watercross Chastain. JB?
Larry mentioned that Kyle Larson has a brand new pick crew that was official last week at Darlington, but they crashed so early, didn't get many reps together. So far, so good today. Kyle said the car is fine, just a little tighter there, but we're close, and the car is consistent. Meanwhile, the
See, can anybody Pete Larson off pit road?
turn is what he said. Also wants a little more right rear security.
Nobody will. Larson's clearly ahead.
gains the lead from Alex Bowman. Denny Hamlin comes out 3rd.
Hamlin getting 2 spots, though.
Kevin, we both saw it. The 20 car really took off out of his box fast, and I saw him slow up a bunch.
Here's how close it was for 3rd, with Bell 4th and Hocevar 5th.
Well, we'll see if there's any speeding penalties, though. Kyle Busch got nabbed with it earlier.
We're the pros that know how to make your business our business. Pros everywhere you need us. With every part you need. From brake pads to stock your shop in Orange County, California, to oil filters for your fleet in Orange County, Florida. It's why we built a nationwide network of parts and exceptional service.
Depends on the type of adjustments that the pit crews made on the cars, too. I know Hamlin's was running tight earlier. They loosen it up a little bit where he can challenge Larson? That's the question. Bowman, who won pole for this race, is also in the mix as well.
Mustache and beard. Now with keratin. In just 5 minutes, sport your best beard ever. Just for men.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Is it your car?
Yeah. No.
Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first, before going through the car wash. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and save even more when you click or call. You're in good hands with Allstate.
During month of free, Buffalo Wild Wings gave to me. Free boneless wings, free delivery, a sandwich that is free, free burger, and a free dessert. All because I joined Rewards for a month of free. Yes.
In the off season, I'm a male and mom. Now I have relaxed fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins. No bending down, no touching. Kind of love not using my hands.
Come on, Andy.
I'm out the game. Try relaxed fit Skechers slip-ins.
Welcome to more where that came from. More back-to-backs. More epic last laps. More stripes.
All right.
More short fuses.
Hopefully there's better battling towards the end, I hope.
More Lone Star Showdown. More Heartland Heartstoppers. Welcome to the edge of your seat. Welcome to NASCAR.
Now in pits with Jamie Chris here and Denny Hamlin, the wave around just a moment ago. We will bring you the highlights, and it's really been the Kyle Larson show. Last Sunday, he brought out the caution that allowed Denny Hamlin and his big crew to win the race. Now Larson trying to do, I guess, what his teammate last week couldn't do. But Byron led through the first two stages and continued to roll. Here comes the highlight, and lap 40 is where Larson took the lead from his teammate and Colster Bowman. He dominated last fall. One stage one, one stage two. Not a whole lot of action. We've had some hit problems for some teams. Cody Ware and Shane Van Gisbergen bringing out the caution flag. John Hunter Nemechek lost the wheel. But this looks like an emotional ride for a dominant driver who's run well here all weekend. And Kyle Larson, who or what could shake things up a little bit.
Well, I like Ty Gibbs. And you just think about the tough start to the season for the 54 team. Finished the top 10 last week in Darlington, ran 9th. He ran 7th in that stage. Pitts crew gaining 2 spots.
All right, so your top 10 after pit stops, you got Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, Carson Osavar, Chase Briscoe, Justin Haley, Ryan Blaney, and Tyler Reddick. It seemed like the tires only helped Ryan Blaney. He did gain some track position, but he's not up towards the front. Let's see, Eric Jones, he's in 26th.
They are ahead of the race leader behind the pace drivers waiting to pick up Kyle Larson. 6 of those drivers will wave around back to the lead lap. Noah Gregson is one of those. Chris Buescher, Nemechek, Jones, also Gilliland and Logano wave back to the lead lap.
No, it's a little kind of frustrating. You didn't get to tear off all the way off, Kevin.
Yeah, and that aggravating. That definitely bothers you as a driver, but once you get into that rhythm, it almost disappears. That's right. It annoys you right down under caution. It always does. Something little like that, and you get going.
All right, so Hamlin hits the outside with Larson. That's interesting. Ty Gibbs is on the bottom. Alex Bowman is on the bottom.
Nobody else has had a free pass. Getting set for the restart. Bowman and Larson. Their pit crews punching above their weight. We had them second and third in the group, and they come out 1-2. Hamlin third.
Well, the other car that's really.
All right.
Some time on pit road, right?
Can anybody challenge Larson for the lead, or does Larson have this race? We have 235 laps to settle it. Green flags in the air. Bowman did not get a good start. Hamlin is on his outside. Yeah, Hamlin easily made that pass. And now he could challenge Larson here. Bowman struggling on this restart. Oh, teammates almost got into it, Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell. But Bell's going to pass him on the outside. And Bell's loose. Oh, he lost a couple of spots there. Kept it from wrecking. That was close. Kind of like what Reddick and Hamlin did earlier. And his car is still loose besides Hocevar in the 77. Yeah, look at it. I definitely thought he was going into the wall there. Kept it from wrecking. Takes a lot of skill to catch the car really quick. Had the possibility of being a big accident, too, with all those cars around. I think SVG's still in the race. Or is he out of the race? He might be. Yeah, he is out of the race. Yeah, Bell seems like he's struggling with his car.
This is only the 9th lap he has spent in the top 10 all day.
Definitely didn't have a qualifying day that he wanted to have yesterday, but William Byron saw him last week, led a bunch of laps.
Here's Byron in the top 10. His car has improved.
Dominant cars like this, they grind away. They put themselves in position to be able to get closer to being in contention at the end of the race.
Well, Byron came in here with a...
But it seems like Larson's got a good long-run car, but he hasn't got that far away from Hamlin.
Steady Eddie, baby. Gotta keep an eye on Blaney. I know we just talked about it.
Blaney just got past Bell. He's in 6th, so Blaney is making some moves.
Takes me back earlier. I was listening to Hamlin a little bit tight. He freed up a little bit with his changes on his car. And more than likely, that teammate of his, Christopher Bell, had the same problem. Maybe just went a little bit too much with his. Look for those cars to be faster later on in this run.
Well, the other thing that's happening right now, Clint, we're starting to see a lot of shade on the back straightaway. It's starting to shade up off the exit of turn 2. You'll see as Carson Hocevar right here starting to go in. We talked about 1 and 2 being in the sun all day.
And that's just got to be wearing out, doesn't it, Kevin?
Well, the bottom is definitely going to probably lose a little bit of grip as we get towards the end of this race. But the temperature of the racetrack, the ambient temperature outside, the shade on the racetrack, you're going to have to keep up with this racetrack. And as we're seeing with some of these cars, it doesn't take much to get the handling outside of where it needs to be.
Yeah, the shade is starting to change on the track. That might affect it a little bit.
Behind the wall, joining Josh Balicki. So 37 cars still running, and with the wave arounds, 30 of them on the lead lap.
Kevin, that's a good point. And as I heard you say that, typically as a leader, when you dominate a race like Kyle Larson has at 239 of the 279 laps ran, you get complacent. I don't want to change anything. I usually say that. Today, a little bit different. He is moving around because he has to get around lap traffic. He's been on the bottom. He's been in the middle, off the top, crossing the...
It seems like Larson's starting to extend that gap now.
220 laps to go. We're flat out of Bristol with a minimum of caution flags, and Kyle Larson leading the majority of this race.
Imagine this is your adorable family. You want to switch to T-Mobile, but you feel stuck paying off your old phones.
All right, I wonder if that shade's going to affect the tire wear.
Family to T-Mobile, and they'll help pay off those old phones. Kudos. And you get 4 new iPhone 16s.
I mean,
I'm aware we're using puppies to tell you about T-Mobile's amazing
track
deals.
position's the biggest thing, but how the tires are going right now, it's really made this strategy and stuff unpredictable.
Plus, get 4 lines for $25 a line. McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with a Minecraft movie meal.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as providing 24/7 sensitivity protection. Patients are going to love to see Sensodyne on the shelf.
The Bush Guy, bold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks. Like that.
See, Waffle House is running.
Going in circles.
He's running 20th, so he was having a good day, but he's not now. He's outside the top 20.
Today after NASCAR on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on earth.
To be a pet parent is to be human. Sometimes we feel guilty, even when it's for their own good. It's not always.
Yeah, so Hamlin's already 2 seconds behind Larson. Larson's car is just that good.
To give more love than humanly possible. Because you're only human, there's hills. Science does more.
Wherever the road takes you, Chevy is ready to drive you forward. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters.
Yeah, so the last car on the lead lap right now is Corey LaJoy. Logano's the last one on the lead lap in 30th. You're probably going to see Larson going through lap traffic again. It's going to come down to also who gets through lap traffic the best.
210 laps to go in the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle Larson has made this his playground, leading 252 laps. Alex Flores down front for 39. Driven by speed, Keanu Reeves versus Cody Jones, an inside behind-the-scenes look at Keanu Reeves and Dude Perfect's Cody Jones' quest to compete in the high-stakes Toyota GR Cup at Indianapolis. 9:30 tonight, Eastern Time on FS1. Well, guys, bad news for our pole sitter. Listen up.
Oh, Alex Bowman's having engine issues.
I heard it. Start watching him drop positions, and I heard it come by. You can hear it.
That's not good if you're a Hendrick Motorsports fan. I wonder if that's going to affect Larson.
Bowman restarted second. He's now fallen to.
Or is that just a team's issue?
About to lose another spot to Josh Berry and Austin Dillon here.
But yeah, he has fallen outside the top 10 now. He's lost that track position.
Meanwhile, Chase Briscoe up to 8th. Justin Haley. They started 8th and 9th in reverse order.
Yeah, both of those guys having a solid day. You see that tear off on Haley's car still right in the middle of his vision, but Joey Logano, he's in big trouble right here. One of those cars that
Yeah, Logano's about to get lapped by Larson.
He's not the only one. There is a bunch of cars bunched up together right in front of your leader, Kyle Larson. Be patient.
And you said there was 11 wave around?
11 took the wave around, 6 of which got back on the lead lap. And here's the 34 in trouble, dropping down to pit road. Todd Gilliland. I believe he was one of those cars that took the wave around. Those cars have 75 more laps on their tires than the drivers who stopped at this last caution flag. Gilliland on the back pit has to come all the way around on the apron.
But with the way that this race is going right now, we've seen a lot of green flag runs up until this point. So now you're going to see, as you see Todd Gilliland going down pit road.
You're watching from Chris Buescher, the BuildSubmarines.com cam, as Kyle Larson came up and put him a lap down.
This car started.
Oh, there goes Bowman blowing up now.
It's going to grenade soon. He's losing a lot of
He just saw a little bit of smoke going out of that. I wonder if that's going to leak fluid to cause a caution. I would pit if I were him. I wouldn't keep it out there. His car is going to be done.
This is it. As long as it doesn't just completely go away. Todd Gilliland shouldn't be, because of being out of fuel, complaining about fuel pressure. He had last pitted in lap 181. That's 120 laps ago.
This thing's really starting to lay down. It ain't gonna be long.
I didn't mind it so much until that smoke started coming out.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't pull any oil out on the track, because that's going to cause a lot of drivers to wreck. By the way, Hamlin has closed the gap down to a second after Larson's caught up the lap traffic.
Talking to the crew chief, there's a number from Larson's team, a number from Byron's team. They're already with helmets on when their 48 driver decides to take that hard left and come on down.
Thanks, Jamie. Well, up at the front of the field, Yogi Berra said, looks like deja vu all over again.
Now, pretty much Bowman's chances of winning is over now.
Kyle Larson took the lead from Alex Bowman on lap 33 and led almost all the rest of the laps in one. Today, Larson took the lead from Bowman on lap 40, has swept the stages and led ever since. 55 of 250.
Yeah, he just put his teammate Bowman a lap down now.
And Kyle Larson has now passed Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, and the Silver Fox David Pearson to move to time in laps 11 Bristol.
Well, I think there was a chance. I think he had a chance of winning, but it's because of that speeding penalty he got during that race.
Way better than we started the year, Kevin. He is right there running down the second place teammate of his, Denny Hamlin, in the 11 car. Very fast, big turnaround for Ty Gibbs.
Well, it's a big organization with Joe Gibbs Racing, and to be able to put the resources, time, and effort, and everything that goes into turning a team around is not easy.
Ty Gibbs is having a good run today. Most of the races he has not been good. He's
In position to qualify better, have some decent finishes, which puts you into a different practice group. Now you're at a racetrack where he's had a lot of success in the past of being able to put up results, lead laps, and here we are with 191 laps to go, with Ty Gibbs running down, as you see Eric Jones right up next to the wall and the debris. But Ty Gibbs did a great job today.
yeah. Can Gibbs get past Hamlin though?
Chris Buescher has been able to kind of maintain pace with Larson. Buescher has gone
Seems like Hamlin's just better on the short runs.
He was within about 4 car lengths.
Larson's better on the long runs, and so is Gibbs, it seems like.
But he was like matching Larson's line and moving past slower cars with him. Now Buescher goes to the top.
I don't think Bowman is pitted yet either.
That'll be the end of that for a while. 188 laps to go in Thunder Valley.
Have you always had trouble with your weight? Me too.
Surely they'll have to pit before this race ends.
With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
And I'm keeping the weight off.
Reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults.
Ryan Newman. You mean Ryan Priest?
Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12.
Well, Blaney's still running in the top 10. He's actually in the top 5.
Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or
So Blaney is slowly but steady gaining his way through the field.
will help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas.
We get a caution. That's going to change everything too.
Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes, if you feel your heart racing while at rest, or if you have mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, flu or upset, headache, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and heartburn. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
I'm keeping it off.
I'm lowering my CV risk. Ask your prescriber about Wegovy.
The warm-up beginning of the off-season was about 2.5 hours every day. It's boring, it's mundane, but it's what it takes.
I've seen some starters take 25 minutes to get ready to throw. I've never seen anything like that.
Everything takes patience. There's no instant gratification.
I mean, his routine is boring because it's the same every day. But I'll 100% take boring all day long.
He's throwing 100. It doesn't even look like he's trying.
Brilliance to me is patience, and a lot of the time it's boring. But greatness is boring.
Hands-free Skechers slip-ins now come with Glide Step Max cushioning, which actually gave me an idea to combine all my.
Tony Romo's on TV. Guy that glazes over Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Bush guy, bold and smooth survival skills. In unpredictable conditions.
So Larson, Hamlin, and Ty Gibbs are still 1, 2, 3. Hocevar's in 4th. Blaney's in 5th. Blaney's not that far behind Hocevar.
179 laps to go.
More Gibbs, Carson, Hocevar, and Blaney are right next to each other. Cody Ware's out of this race, by the way. Well, not out of this race. He's 4 laps down.
Yes, sir. There he is. Yeah, both of those cars of Carson Hocevar and Ryan Blaney, they were making a lot of speed on the top of the racetrack as you see Carson go to the bottom.
Yeah, Hamlin's closed the gap on Larson now.
The 54 wants to defend that 77. He's going to have to get up top and make that pace.
He's less than 2 seconds behind, so Larson's struggling for traffic, it seems like.
Now, when this top group comes in like this, and we've seen that speed start to be a little more dominant on the top than the bottom, that changes things. And now you can use the bottom to pass, but it's so hard to finish the pass when that grip strip on the bottom has worn off.
Oh, slow cars. Now you got Cody Ware there. You got Cole Custer on the bottom, and Cody Ware right there, just in front of this battle for 3rd place. Where are they going to go? Well, those are opportunities if he can time it right, and that's exactly what Blaney tried to do. Now he's in trouble. Now he's stuck back there behind not only Cody Ware but Bowman with a blown engine. Those guys caught them, Kevin. They were 2.5 tenths faster than Gibbs, running that outside. As soon as he trapped them on the bottom, Max with times. And those 2 wide, slower cars brought William Byron into that.
Yeah, so those lap cars slowed down Gibbs, Hocevar, and Blaney. They have lost more time to Larson and Hamlin. I definitely think they got to pit one more time at least.
Very much so.
Blaney's trying to pass Hocevar, though, on the inside.
Beautiful Sunday at Bristol.
But that momentum on the outside just keeps that car ahead.
Remember the loss of Shiggy Hattori, IndyCar racer and champion truck owner Al Pierce, who covered 56 Daytona 500s, many of those for Auto and Henrik Motorsports publicist John Edwards, all of whom passed away this week. In their memory, how about a NASCAR on Fox? Bristol, crank it up.
Hamlin's lost a little bit of time. I wonder if he's trying to catch up the lap, if he caught up the lap traffic as well. Yeah, it seems like Hamlin's having a hard time getting past lap traffic, and that's let Ty Gibbs and Hocevar and Blaney close in on him. Hamlin now trying the inside. He finally gets past one of them. Hey, look at that. 2 more cars for Hamlin, and then that's clear racetrack. But he's got to hurry up because Ty Gibbs is not that far behind. Larson is checked out 4 seconds ahead.
Kyle Busch, he's in 15th place, 10 seconds back of the leader as you watch from the Cheddars on board cam. Kyle did a nice job of rebounding from that speeding penalty back at the end of stage 1 of 25 to get himself into the top 15 here.
We'll be done with this race in a little more than 150 laps.
Battle for 4th is still the good one there on the bottom. Carson Hocevar. And on the top, Ryan Blaney behind the 54 of Ty Gibbs in 3rd. So instead of showing you car commercials, we're going to stay right here for commercial-free racing from Bristol, and we're going to go Toyota All Out. Jamie?
Well, we're talking a lot about Ty Gibbs today so far. It's been a rough start to the season, but finally they turned that page last week, getting their first top 10 finish. Then they come here to Bristol, they back it up with their best qualifying effort of the year. Up 6, I talked to Tyler Allen, his new crew chief this year. He said, getting the top 10 was a huge relief for this team, just knowing we can do it and seeing that start. Now they come to a place that this has been one of Ty's best racetracks. They're running like they really hope they will. Not a lot of complaints, just reminding him to take care of those tires.
And now he's past those lap cars. He's got a clear view of Denny Hamlin just ahead in 2nd, and he's closing on the 11th.
Yeah, they finally got past those lap cars.
Racetrack, I think as you look at the cars behind them, it'd be best for the 11 and 54 to run up the racetrack. I think they make more lap time.
Christopher Bell, they're back in 7th, along with teammate Chase Briscoe right behind him.
Yeah, we saw Bell a couple runs ago kind of lose the handling of his car, lose the back of the car. Chase Briscoe is having a great day today. He's been able to, and that's what they need. They just need these solid, good, consistent days to be able to run in the
Yeah, it seems like Ty Gibbs is closing in on Hamlin.
Consistency, get that notebook of the common denominators that are different from what they had last year with Martin to what Chase Briscoe wants in the car this year.
Tyler Reddick back in 12th after restarting 11th. And Bubba Wallace in 18th after restarting 12th. There's Luke Reddick as he's working through some of the lap traffic.
And Tyler Reddick hasn't really been much of a factor today. We expect these racetracks where you can run up at the top of the racetrack and make lap time with all the different variables in the racetrack. We would expect more out of the 54 or 45 cars than what they've been able to put up today. He and the 23 really.
Had a good shot to win at Darlington, but the car kind of fell out from under him in the closing laps there. So Denny Hamlin in 2nd, leading among the Toyotas, with Gibbs right behind in 3rd. Thanks to Toyota for providing us with more green flag action here from Bristol with Toyota All Out. 150 laps to go. Alex Bowman has taken his.
Yep, so Alex Bowman's finally out of the race.
Engine issue there. He said he dropped the cylinder. Apparently it would go no further. Larry, looks like the wave around cars, the cars that took that wave around back at the last caution flag and have 75 more laps on their tires than the cars that stopped. Looks like those wave around cars are starting to pit.
Yeah, Mike, they had last pitted somewhere around lap 182 to 184. If they were full when they last pitted, they should be able to run to about lap 350 to 355. So we're right there right now. This is in the window. All of our leaders that did it back on lap 258, they can go probably to lap 435, 440. So they got ways.
And there's only been one caution for contact today. Now that's SPG and Cody Ware. It's been pretty quiet for chaos. It's been pretty boring with Larson ahead all this time. Looks like Eric Jones is pitting.
And this is not something that you typically do, having to make a green flag stop at Bristol. Obviously, at the first race last year, they did that. But getting onto the right pit road you can get a little bit disoriented as to where you are on this racetrack as you get into your rhythm, especially into those long runs. So green flag pit stops can creep up on you, trying to get to the right pit road.
Speaking of creep up on you, these cars that are going to have brand new tires when they fire off, we're going to be a lot faster than our leaders, perhaps. Perhaps.
Leaders are still running 1590s.
Okay.
That's pretty much what we.
I don't think tires are going to make much of a difference. It's just going to be on a pit crew.
These cars, with their fastest lap in Kyle Larson's was really fast, but Denny Hamlin's was 15:50, and that was on lap 267. So there is a couple tenths in the tires.
I just saw Ty Gibbs shoot between those two lap cars, and it was like threading a needle coming out of turn number 4. He was hammered down on a mission. That kid, he is going for it today. Now, here's Ryan Blaney, who was part of that battle, currently in 5th. Here's his radio.
So you can hear his heart rate in that car. It's elevated, obviously, not only because he's frustrated. He's been out here a long time. This track is extremely physical.
Yeah, we already got 138 laps to go. Not that far from the end.
Yeah, I would rather be up on the top of the racetrack when I get into these long rhythm runs.
Hamlin has extended that gap on Gibbs again. I think Gibbs got caught up in a little bit in traffic, and that's what gave him time. Not as much action.
Got into a rhythm, it was able to be more repeatable.
Here's that move I'm talking about with Ty Gibbs.
See, this was the problem whenever they changed it to a one-groove track at Bristol. I had a feeling this would happen. Because when it was double-grooved, that actually worked really well for, like, the Gen 6. Because there was, like, 2 grooves, but now
We talked about this earlier with Kyle Larson being aggressive in track.
the racing's just not as good at Bristol as it used to be.
But most of the time, it's his advantage. And you see that there with Ty Gibbs being aggressive, getting through that live track. But he's got 2 guys right behind him.
I mean, this is not as interesting as Darlington, even. And Darlington was kind of boring.
There's 3 cars that he's battling with right behind him.
Denny Hamlin's picked the pace up. 1584 out of him, 1600 your leader Larson. Denny moved up to the top of the racetrack, right on the wall for 3 and 4. That's a pretty good lap time down. Maybe he can run you down. There's another one a little bit better than Larson.
Well, Ricky Stenhouse just went a lap down. Remember, he started on the outside of the front row. Was a contender here early.
Hamlin is gaining time on Larson, though. Did Larson wear out his tires? Or has Hamlin found something on the top? That might be why Larson's not gaining any time. He's trying to get past Logano.
The leader selects pit road at the end of stage 2.
Now he finally does.
110 laps past that now, with 132 to go.
Chili's wanted to reintroduce the presidents and margaritas to a NASCAR audience, but that was pretty complex, so we came up with the catchy line. Right at the dente, right at the dente, it's all right at the dente. Now, is this here country song about Chili's Presidente margaritas just a shameless way to sell Chili's Presidente margaritas? Yup, sure is. Right at the dente.
What happened to no phones at the table?
Sorry, honey, it's a work day.
Yeah, work over here too. Got a text from Alan saying your business vehicle is now protected with Progressive.
Just like your home and auto. Why'd you text him? I thought that's what we were doing.
The Barn Bar, the county's best hangout, just got better. Here's the Living Smooth with the always smooth, easy drinking Keystone Light. Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
To be a pet parent is to be human.
Yeah, Larson is now not that far ahead of Hamlin as he was. Hamlin's now around a second. Or about a little more than a second behind Larson. Hocevar has picked up third. Ty Gibbs has lost a couple of spots.
Because you're only human with skills. Science does more. Wherever the road takes you, Chevy is ready to drive you forward.
Right.
With pure
Let's see what happens near the end.
And future forward technology. Because every mile matters. And every path leads to new possibilities. Get 2.9% APR plus no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2025 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Welcome back to the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway, where Kyle Larson.
Yeah, Larson has now finally moved to the top. Probably seeing what Hamlin's doing.
Hamlin, Osabar, Blaney, and Gibbs. Now the top 5. Here's your aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating.
See, the good thing when you're the leader, when you have that far gap, you can change. You can position your car in a different way on the track than what you were doing. That way, you're able to gain lap time again. That's what you see Larson doing.
Number of cautions, number of leaders. Yeah. Said it. I'm going to say it again. 54 late changes last spring, 8 in the fall. And all it takes is about 15 degrees difference in temperature. And 2 today.
Light contact right there with the ball from Carson Hocevar.
The more they move on the outside, those marbles, this tire has to go somewhere. There's 20 car on pit road.
Now here's Ross Chastain. Started 35th. Was all over the track in practice. He and his teammates looked like this was going to be a rough day, but he has scratched and clawed his way up to 8th. Good run. Regan.
So Bell's the first one to pit.
Ross Chastain and the job that they have done today with that car. It started off really
Don't think it'll make that much of a difference.
tight with the nose, couldn't get the rear to turn. Report from Ross a little while ago, it's the best that it's been all day long. He's a little bit of overall grip.
But Chastain's now in the top 10. First time today.
They've been too loose this entire run, as you guys have noted. They made a swing to try and make it better for this run, anticipate the track to tighten up, but finally too much. They had to come to the pits.
So Bell pitted from 9th place. And the way they get around here, he comes back on track in 23rd. 2 laps down.
You're starting to see more drivers pit. There's Cindric on pit road.
Yeah, I have no idea why they're pitting, Mike. Again, they were all on pit road in lap 258. Go back racing 265. There's not a lot of fall off, as you see now. Also, Ty Gibbs hit pit road. They are pitting very, very early than what they had to. They should be able to go to at least lap 440.
Maybe just trying to do something different. There's no way that you're going to beat him for the track position that he has, and that's him, Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that.
If I'm Hamlin, I do the same thing Larson's doing because you're in close contact. The other ones are just trying to throw Hail Marys because they cannot catch up to Larson.
Hard to tell without all the facts, but those are a couple of things that it could be.
All right, we'll endeavor to find out as Ty Gibbs returns to the race.
But you do risk, if a caution does come out, there goes Hamlin on pit road. Ty Gibbs almost hit Custer.
Jamie.
There's Larson on pit road. Reacting what Hamlin does.
Larson on pit road and William Byron. Jamie.
You cannot speed at this time during the race.
Carson Hocevar picks up the lead. There's Chase Briscoe in, and
Here comes Hamlin around turn 4. Does Larson get up to speed?
Larson team right now. This is the only thing that can knock us out of this thing. Be careful here, make no mistakes, and make sure that caution doesn't come out. Bring it.
Looks like Hamlin's going to be right behind Larson. So he did gain a little bit of time on Larson. And Hocevar is having a bad pit stop. That's going to cost him the race.
Well, that's what it comes down to. You have to week-to-week basis and on the money stop right here. But I think a lot of these guys are pitting right now because it's 4 to 5 tenths of a second a lap. And if you hang out like William Byron did last week and you lose the lead and you lose that track position, you just get behind.
Chase Elliott in, along with both the Childress full-time cars. Dylan and Kyle Busch, a little long stop on the left side. For Busch, Josh Berry is in. Justin Haley coming to pit road.
Well, you see the difference there, about a half a track advantage to your leader.
So Blaney's in the lead right now. He's hoping for a caution.
As we look at that last pit stop right there, I mean, we see some really fast laps from some of those guys coming out of the pits. Chase Briscoe ran his fastest lap. Ty Gibbs ran his fastest lap. So this racetrack has some speed in it. Those new tires do have a speed advantage right out of the gate.
So Larson comes back on track in 7th, Hamlin in 8th. If the caution flew right now, there would be 3 cars on the lead lap. Blaney, Reddick, and Wallace. Keselowski just went a lap down, along with his teammate Ryan Preece. Then Larson and Hamlin.
That's what you're hoping for, right? If you're staying out now, you're in a deficit on lap times, you're praying for a caution, Larry.
That's the only thing they can do now. And you kind of made your...
Yeah, they're pretty much hoping for a caution. If that's really going to screw up a lot of the drivers' races going on. There's only 3 cars on the lead lap.
It's back on the lead lap and to the lead once again.
Now you see Kyle Larson going by Jesse Love right there. He's 6 laps down, making his Cup Series debut today. So welcome to Bristol and Cup racing, Clint.
Yeah, and a long race track runs, right? This race could have drastically been different. I don't want to knock him for being 6 laps down.
No, not at all.
Extremely challenging racetrack under very difficult circumstances of long green flag runs and lap traffic and everything else.
A lot of learning. I've kept an eye on him, Clint, and he's been very respectful of lead lap cars, getting either up and out of the way or down and out of the way, depending on what line the car is trying to lap while running.
Which also slows you down a little bit, right? So maybe 1 or 2 of those laps probably aren't necessarily legit as far as lap time. I don't want to take away from what he accomplished today.
Yeah, but to Mike's point, it's just he's very aware of his scenario.
That's what he has to do.
Yeah, does the caution come out, or do those 3 drivers that are on the lead lap pit?
Tyler Reddick, one of those cars, he most that we just showed, 2 of those cars that are out there hoping for that caution.
That gap's getting smaller. Not a half a track anymore.
Well, it's about 12.
Blaney looked like almost got into Ty Dillon.
Reddick and Wallace, the 223.11 cars, pretty close together. So these 3 plus Ryan Preece, which are the cars that have not stopped. Larry, how long can these leaders go? As long as they were full when they pitted at lap 258, they can go about lap 440, which is another 30, 35 laps now.
Well, that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Hoping for a caution. Can it happen? We've seen crazier things in Bristol. 43 in the wall again. Eric Jones slowed down the front straightaway.
Oh, Eric Jones into the wall. Is that going to bring out a caution?
He's up way high as you're watching the onboard in turn 2, looking traffic by. He was in the wall all the way around there, guys. If he wanted to fit, he had no chance to do so on that lap, but he's staying high on the racetrack. So, well, apparently, he's okay to continue.
And you see him running right up against that dark. And a lot of times when you're trying to push that groove up a little bit, sometimes you slip. And we talked about this.
Well, it looks like Eric Jones keeps going.
That black rubber line right there, and you get up in those, and it sucks you right in.
I wonder if any of these drivers are taking a chance on their tires blowing out. They can't last forever.
In 23.11, Reddick and Wallace with the long run. I guess if you do the same thing as Kyle Larson and use the fastest car, you're not going to beat Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I would have definitely done something totally different than the 5 and the 11 and the 54. That's exactly what these 3 or 4 teams are doing. But they need a caution.
Yeah, that's the only part that I don't like about it. You know, you're trying to do something different for sure, but when you get so far behind, then you're going to cost yourself who knows how many positions as you run along. If you have to
Right now, Blaney's about to lap Bubba Wallace.
So Larson has gotten past Ryan Preece, and Bubba Wallace is going to go a lap down here, perhaps to Blaney, and that would put Wallace in the free pass position.
But Hamlin is closing in on Larson.
Trying to run down your
I'm real nervous. If a caution comes out, that's going to change everything.
Larson about 2/10 of a second a lap quicker than Blaney over the last few laps.
Hamlin's closed that gap on Larson. If a caution doesn't come out, that could be the race.
Almost didn't give Blaney a whole lot of room there. Trying not to go one lap down. So that will leave just Blaney and Tom Reddick on the lead lap right now. As a couple of cars, Custer and Ware and Van Gisbergen.
Oh, 3 wide.
3 wide here.
Blaney's threading the needle on the top.
In the middle. Leader up top. This is going to put Allmendinger 2 laps down.
And Hamlin has closed the gap. Larson. Wow, that was an aggressive move by Larson trying to get past those lap cars. Made it stick. Could have been a wreck.
He was almost a half a track ahead of that 11. Denny
But now it looks like for the first time all race, Larson is showing desperation right in front of Denny Hamlin, who is charging right behind him. But unless the cars are the same as they were earlier, Hamlin's better on the short run. So I kind of expect Hamlin to be kind of close to Larson. But what helped was Hamlin pitted a lap before Larson, and he gained a little bit of time.
Guys like Hamlin that have that experience of being able to mentally keep themselves in each chunk of the race. So these two guys, they're going to go at it again. We knew both of them were really good here at Bristol, but 1-2 here again, getting close to the end of this race.
Now here's a heartbreaker. We're riding with Ryan Preece. A moment ago we were riding with Carson Hocevar. Hocevar is as fast as him. He's keeping right pace with the number 11, but he had a 22-second pit stop, and that's why Hocevar is a lap down.
Whoa, that was close between Preece and Hamlin.
Hamlin trying to race his way to the lead. Here is the stop for the 77.
Preece is being Ryan Newman today, not letting any cars pass him.
And he comes off the jack. That's why Carson Hocevar is 2 laps down. Trying to get back up to 1 down. And
Yeah, Hocevar could have been in the mix of this too, but his pit crew messed up.
Yeah, and a lot of times,
Told you cannot make any mistakes or speed on pit road, or that will cost you a race.
a lot of times when you run as good as Carson,
Not the time to make mistakes.
and you get that pressure ramped up, it starts to poke holes in things that haven't been addressed or haven't been able to be a part of a competitive situation like that in the past. So a lot of pressure on those guys.
when he passes him, that'll be able to 1 car in the lead lap.
Watch this. Watch that we don't have a caution this entire time, and then all of a sudden 2 laps ago, caution's out overtime. I can see it happening. It looks like Reddick's going to get lapped by Blaney here.
He's only about 2/10 of a second a lap slower than Kyle Larson, even though his tires are, what, 100?
Reddick looked like he got loose into the marbles right there, almost a wreck.
Larson fits right here. You're watching it, but going back to
It's like I'm better focused on stuff happening to Foxes.
taking that exit
Wow.
from him and slowing him down. So both of those cars need to go. Wayne's going to be in trouble. Nick needs to get around.
Gosh, these cars are really close.
Back and get his lap times going.
Well, no surprise, Ryan Blaney has the best long run speed driver rating of all drivers through 2025 so far.
Yeah, we watch it week after week. I mean, he's the one that can get through traffic the best. Typically, that long run speed is always there. They just
So Blaney has lapped everybody. He's really hoping for a caution.
whatever it has been. It has bit this 12 car, but
And as soon as he passed that 45, went right back, got me a 1598. Larson coming on those tires.
So if we do have a caution right now, only Tyler Reddick will be back on the lead lap. He'd be all the way in the back.
Caution comes out in the next 10 to 15 laps, and Blaney's not pitted. He's got the whole field lap down. Yeah, Tyler Reddick would get the free pass. Everybody else would be forced to take.
It's Blaney's race if a caution comes out.
Oh, a caution would work out for this 12. And man, what a repay after the week he had last weekend.
Oh, Larson's closing.
He had that. What do you have to lead for about 2/10 of a second?
it wasn't long.
So if the caution came out, Blaney would pit, he'd get fresh tires. Everyone else would wave around. They'd right start second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth right next to him. They'd just be on worn tires.
That's right. Yeah. When you take the wave around, you cannot pit and take fresh tires. You go around the pace car, but you cannot come to pit road.
Well, they can take the wave around, but they'll have older tires than Blaney. But still, that would really help Blaney if a caution comes out, and I hope that doesn't happen.
68 laps to go.
Because I want to see this race between Larson and Hamlin. And Larson has just got past Reddick, so Larson, he is close. And Reddick's now pitting.
You'll see it all as we go back side by side.
Those tires definitely cannot last till the end. Caution would even help even if Larson and them pass them, because remember, Larson and Hamlin are still a lap down. There's still cars battling around Larson and stuff, too. That's the interesting thing about Bristol. You're having to work around lap traffic, but you're also having to work around battles between other cars.
Kick off summer with a bang and discover why a NASCAR race in Michigan is anything but slow. Get your tickets today at mispeedway.com.
This tax season, do more than just catch up. Spring forward with the free 5G phone with select Straight Talk plans. So you can spring for those new sneakers they need. The unlimited streaming you need. And with Straight Talk,
And Larson has just got back on the lead lap.
never knew you needed.
But how long does Blaney stay out?
Spring
Is
forward
the
with
question.
real unlimited data and get a free 5G
It looks like
phone
Blaney's pitting now, so
reliable 5G network. Find us at Walmart.
looks like his strategy's not going to work.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity.
I don't think fresher tires would make as much of a difference, though.
The bravado. Because all we ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
So new leader, Kyle Larson. Now that's going to cycle Blaney outside the top 10.
Unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 piggyback is a junior bacon cheeseburger.
I think he stayed up just long enough so he wouldn't lose a lap, I believe.
Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
As you saw, Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney came to pit road for fuel and tires. That will cycle the lead back to Kyle Larson with 58 laps to go ahead of Hamlin, Gibbs, and Briscoe. Blaney comes out in ninth. And Reddick.
Yeah, the race now is going to be between Larson and Hamlin. Hamlin has lost a little bit of time on Larson, though. Larson's car has just been on all cylinders all day.
It's just going to be a matter of how he can get through traffic and how many laps he can take advantage of the speed that those new tires have and where it levels off and how far he's been able to move himself forward. We were talking about that.
Denny Hamlin 1.3 seconds back. And here's Hocevar again. What might have been, as he is now the first car one lap down, and if there's a caution, we'll have a chance to get himself back on the lead lap. Let's take you around the turn. America's quickest and fastest motorsport, the NHRA. Next for Las Vegas here on FS1. And next weekend, Easter weekend, the Cup Series is off, but the Truck Series is racing at Rockingham on Good Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Tell you what, Mike, our old little mate, while we were waiting on Harvick to get his retirement out of the way, Tony Stewart, old smoke, he's going to get him one. I've been watching him. He's getting closer and closer, getting that baby dialed in. You watch.
Yeah, with Larson caught up in lap traffic, Hamlin's closing.
In 2 weeks on Fox at Talladega, the World's Fastest Speedway. And After today's NASCAR race, you can see the
Look at that, 3 wide. Larson's not going to like that. Look how much Hamlin is closed up.
on Fox right after we're done.
Well, you see Denny Hamlin hanging around right there behind Kyle Larson. And Kyle Larson has a gaggle of cars right in front of him.
Yes, he does. Look at this mess.
Wow, that's everybody trying to keep from going another lap down.
And how many times have we seen
And Larson threatened the needle through the middle.
being left?
And look how that 11 car comes right back into the picture when he gets stuck in this traffic jam. It ain't over.
Yeah, but look, Hamlin's got to get past those cars too, and Larson's just getting through them better.
Kyle Larson trying to break that up.
Because see, look at that.
After leading 3
Well, Hamlin does complete through the middle there, but Larson gets through a lot faster.
I tell you what, you get that thing in clean air, and that 5 car is a rocket ship. Heartbreaker for his teammate. Credit where credit's due. That 48 car, they brought Alex Bowman a fast car, sat on the pole, engine expired, but they knew they were there.
Kyle Larson has now led back-to-back races at Bristol, and he's led the most laps since this man, Hall of Famer Cale Yarborough, led 868 laps in back-to-back races at Bristol, 1976 to 77.
One interesting thing looking here that you guys just pointed out is this fastest lap right here of A.J. Allmendinger. He's been able to put himself in that position to get that point. We talk about, as we watch Kyle Larson right there, we talk about 1 point. You're thinking, that's not that big a deal. But Kyle Larson lost the regular season championship last year by 1 point. Every point matters, Clint, as much as you don't want to hear that.
Oh, you preach to me every year, starting at the duels in Daytona.
Yeah, since Larson's got in clean air, he's extended that gap on Hamlin again.
Excuse me, right down a lap after that stop, battling Allmendinger, who is on the lead lap in 9th place. He's the last car on the lead lap.
In the last few years, the dominance, especially today, 368 laps. You sit there and watch the Larson car dominate this race, and he's only 1,700 laps led. You look at Cale Yarborough from the 4,000 range. Unbelievable what those guys accomplished back in the day.
Well, you can talk about, as we go back on board with Ty Gibbs here, is he's on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, your top 5 looks a lot different. You have Larson, Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, and William Byron. Besides Hamlin and Larson, different drivers in the top 5.
Got to get there while you can. Saw an opening right there, shot the middle, and off he went.
He's done a great job of getting things turned back around.
The big move of the day, and it's not even by the leaders. That's how you can tell how boring this race has been.
Coach knows how to rally people around.
Yeah, it seems like Hamlin closes the gap just a little bit, but Larson's able to gain it back.
Last 2 weeks, right back where we need to be.
Solid. And Joe Gibbs has 3 of his 4 cars in the top 5 right now, positions 2 through 4.
We were on the yellow content.
All right, what do you feel like here with 40 laps to go at Bristol? You run 460 laps on this race.
Well, who am I? Am I Kyle Larson? Oh, you just said I'm leading. All right, I'm sorry. I'm picking you up. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Please.
Got 35 laps to go.
No caution. I'm super happy with my car. If I'm Denny Hamlin, I want a caution.
Not as much time.
I'm sick of the caution didn't come out.
Well, for the most drivers, I think.
I could just see the caution coming out with 2 laps to go. It's going to be funny.
You're like, okay, you're talking to yourself. I need to make sure that I'm focused in a rhythm, because at this point during the race, a lot of times you feel like your eyeballs aren't working like they used to start the race, because you bounce up and down and it's so rigid it feels like you're on a sidewalk bouncing around all day.
Forgot what straightaway you're on.
Forgot what straightaway you're on. So the fatigue that falls in at this point in the race on these long runs is at a pretty high level.
All right, we're going to give you a second to rest. Side-by-side commercial. 34 laps to go in the Kyle Larson
Yeah.
at Bristol.
How boring this race has been. They've been getting their ad revenue. This is just like the fall Bristol race last year, just so boring. It's a little more interesting because Hamlin's kind of making it interesting, but that's all. Other than that, it's just been a snooze fest. Yeah, look, besides Larson, all the Gibbs cars are in the top 10. They're second, third, and fourth, and then Bell's in eighth. Second being Hamlin, third Gibbs, and fourth Chase Briscoe.
And this one, definitely this one. And they all have great drivers, ones that win a lot. Look at all these legends.
I think Larson's just as good here at Bristol. I'm not sure if it's the car, because there's been times where he could have won, but it didn't work out for him.
Rory never thought she would live out her dream. Then one day, she did.
I think Bristol to Larson's kind of like Jimmy Johnson's Dover back in the day, just dominating.
Like ordering more to save more off the Papa Parents menu. It's all $6.99.
Why are you whispering? We're making you Papa Parents for $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we stayed hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
It's pronounced Liberty. Liberty. Nice try, kid. Only pay for what you need.
I mean, I don't blame if anyone wants to watch paint dry off the wall instead of this race, because that would probably be just as entertaining.
Lone Star Showdown. More Heartland Heartstoppers. Welcome to the edge of your seat. Welcome to NASCAR.
25 laps to go here in Bristol. A weekend off, and then we go to Talladega.
I cannot wait till Talladega, though. That's a good wake-up call, because you know that will be interesting.
Continuing at 2 on Fox and the green flag on Fox at 3 p.m. Eastern Sunday, April 27th. Larson, Denny Hamlin separated by 1.2 seconds. Hamlin that lap half a tenth quicker than Larson, but just 23 laps to find a way to catch it.
It really just comes down to the lap traffic. If he gets mired in traffic, Kevin, he gets slowed up a little bit. Clean air, he can manage it, but all it takes is one slip up. And in one slip up, if he this car in front of you, leader Larson. Eric Jones has bounced off the wall at least 12 times, and he's right in front of him. Larson, probably a good move to be on the bottom there.
Sorry, Mike. You see the back of that car, Larson's car, kind of slip off the bottom right there.
Yeah, Larson had to use the bottom. That could help Hamlin a little bit, but not as much time left, as there's only 20 laps to go. That's a short time around Bristol.
But right now, his job is to put as many cars in between him and Denny Hamlin. So right now he's got about 4 cars, almost 4 cars.
You know, as soon as he went to the bottom, though, now the 2 car got right back around him.
Well, that's the problem, right? Like when you're running that top line, and then you get the lap traffic, and everybody's in the top line, and then it just takes you a while. You have to inch by those guys running the top line just a foot at a time, and it takes multiple corners to make that pass.
Hamlin's also stuck in traffic, not really making much time on the top. Larson is making that bottom line work now. He's side by side with Logano, putting him 2 laps down.
Larry, 17 to go.
Mike, I threw that damn piece of paper away 100 laps ago. In the trash. But the trend of 2025, 8 races, we've had 3 overtime finishes. Remember that late race cost at Darlington last week?
Yeah, I don't think today's one of those days, Larry.
Hasn't been on in the last 16. But I like where you're headed.
Yeah, Larson has extended the gap now.
Oh, you see the 43 bounce off the wall there again.
It's been a recurring theme.
Yeah. Well, and right now we have a lot of fatigue drivers. We have a lot of guys that are at the end of their energy level. So if you're going to have a mistake, these are the moments that it can happen.
I'll tell you what's amazing. Go back to Ryan.
Yeah, it's just incredible how Larson's able to use any group he wants to get past these cars.
And as it cycled all the way back around with all these green flag laps, heck, he's still 6th. Didn't lose much at all. And had a big time gamble that could have dominated and won him the race in a big way. Did everybody a lap down.
So we've had 8 races this year. In 6 of those 8, the last pass for the lead happened with a half a dozen laps to go or less. Not a trend, just a fact.
Still 11 to go here.
Yeah, it's going to take a big mistake by Larson.
Have a good lead.
Or lap traffic holding him a lot for Hamlin to win, but Hamlin's just losing time as well. This is Larson's race to lose.
Underneath Chris Buescher, and they got a kind of log jammed here. Larson's got to go to work here to get by them both. Nope. Buescher slips up the racetrack. Larson makes the easy pass. And now stays on the bottom to go after Keselowski.
Yeah, and the logjam now is actually behind this group for Denny Hamlin. So Larson has done most of the hard work, and Denny Hamlin now has to go to work on that group of cars that Larson just worked his way through.
Yeah, there's just not going to be enough time for Hamlin, I don't think.
Probably stretched his
Caution's going to
Hamlin has to work through the next
change everything.
that are lap down.
Well, Larson's also been really good on the restarts. Oh, Larson! It looks like he got into the wall a little bit. A little slip up.
Larson get in the wall.
Looks like he got into the marbles. I don't think it affected his car, though, but...
That's a pretty good indication. Let's see here. Oh, he slipped. Yep. Yeah, he got the wall. Got loose getting in. 7 to go.
Yeah, you don't want to pull him back, but I'm sure Cliff Daniels is on the radio saying, "Hey, buddy, we have a big enough lead here. We don't need to take any more of those chances because it just takes one of those moments to knock a toe link off."
There are still 4 lapped cars between Larson and
Yeah, Larson's just got to cruise it to the finish. Yeah, that's what Hamlin has to hope for.
What a dominant day. 5 to go. Can you finish this deal? Seal it up.
And for the second race in a row at Bristol, lead more than 400 laps and go to victory lane. Second place may be in doubt. Ty Gibbs is catching Denny. Hamlin, that is Reddick to the inside with a paint job.
Those monster cars, they get us confused, that's for sure.
Three to go.
But we talk about Kyle Larson and his dominance at this racetrack, and you talk about hard pass, you talk about all the different
Larson,
whatever you want to talk about, but he
with a dominant day today.
Going fast here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Only Alex Bowman earlier in the race has led 40 laps. Well, Larson has led the rest of them. He's just got to get around one more time for this race to be official. Out of 4, 1 lap to go. All he has to do is cruise around.
Had a chance to win it. Link caution foiled his chance. Or he would be grabbing the broom that Kyle Busch has
Larson won at Homestead. He's going to get his second win of the year. Kyle Larson, with a dominant performance and a miserable race, he's going to win at Bristol. I'm glad that's over. Awful race. They need to fix They need to fix the groove on the track. It's just embarrassing to watch. Bristol used to be one of the best tracks, and now it's one of the worst tracks. Glad it's over. All right. See you guys in 2 weeks for Talladega.